Also, and thanks for liking the live, Dante. Also, hopefully I can get some more people in here. And number 6, I wanted to hopefully I get some black women in here because I had an issue a couple days ago and about like a black woman attempting to silence me and trying to make the space that I created for women, black women, to say how they feel unapologetically, to make it unsafe for me and tell me that I shouldn't be speaking out or I shouldn't be saying the things that I do. So, hey, how you doing, sis? I'm going to see if I can wait till I get some people in here so that I can talk about number 6, because number 6 is like an issue for me. And I just need, like, I guess, to bounce it off some other people, so that I can make sure I am not tripping, if you get what I'm saying. So, I'm going to be silent and see if I can get some more people in here. And if I cannot, then I'll probably go live on my backup page and see if that can get some more traffic. But we'll see. I'll give it like a couple minutes to see if I can get some more people in here to talk about the topics on the screen. But most importantly, really, y'all, I really would like to talk about number 6, because I had someone that was really upset by some things that I said in a live on YouTube. And if anyone has gone live on YouTube, you can, if someone isn't commenting, you don't know who's in the live. Also, if you're cool with somebody on, okay, no problem, sis. If you start talking to somebody on TikTok, right, and then they follow you to YouTube and they get in your YouTube live, you don't know who they are. You don't know if that's the person. You don't know anything about who is in your live, because the names that are on TikTok are not the ones that are on YouTube. So, yeah, I was told that I said some things in my live on YouTube that were offensive, and I should have realized that they were offensive and not said them with that person present, but I didn't know they were there. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea, because YouTube names and TikTok names are different. And also, I feel like if I say that this is a safe space for black women, shouldn't this be a safe space for me too? Since I'm a black woman, shouldn't I be able to say what I think and feel too? Not just everyone else? Because I can guarantee you that when I've had lives, I've had black women say things that I don't agree with, and I let y'all say it, because at the end of the day, you have a right to your own opinion. And, I let y'all say what y'all want. Now, if it's something bad about black women, I may give you pushback on it. But, like, how some black women will come up and they'll say, like, oh, well, I think all black women are this or that. And I may give you pushback on that, but I don't try to stop you from saying how you feel. I think that everybody knows that. I have a black husband. Black women get up here on the lives and say, if you marry a black man, if you have faith in black men in 2025, you're a dummy and all these type of things. And I always let black women say that, because I can understand their perspective and where they're coming from. And I understand that more than likely they're speaking about the collective, not every single man or black man or whatever. So I let people say whatever they want to say, because at the end of the day, your opinion is your opinion. I'm not going to try to police your opinion or tell you what and what not to say about black men. If you feel like black men are on some BS or whatever, that's fine. If you feel that white tea people are doing this or that, if you feel whatever you feel as a black woman, I let y'all say whatever y'all want to say in the lives, So I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all what happened. I might have to do this again on the backup page if I can't get more people in there. But I'm going to say this. So I had a live on YouTube, right? And I was just talking about, black issues and just the regular stuff that I talk about, like with black women. I can't even really, to be honest with you, I can't even remember it all. But a white tea person came in the YouTube and asked me, would I be mad if somebody said, if a white person said that they don't like black people, or they don't, no, I'm sorry. No, it was a white tea person that came into YouTube live and said, would I be upset if a white person said that they don't trust black people? Because I said that I don't trust white tea people. And they said, would I be mad? How would I feel if white tea people were the ones that were discriminating against black people? Now, what I said was, I wouldn't care because y'all have already done that. Y'all are already doing that right now, actively. Y'all have done that historically. Why would I be upset or be shocked at you being racist or discriminatory against black people? I said you literally had signs that said no blacks and no dogs. So what are you talking about? So keep in mind, that's what the whole conversation stemmed from. A white tea person came in and said that. Then after I said what I just told y'all, right? They said, well, would you date a white tea person? Now, now this is my opinion. It don't go for anybody else. This is just my opinion. I told them no, I would not. Not my preference, not my cup of tea. Like, I just wouldn't do it. So then the white tea person says to me, hey, well, how would you feel if a white tea person said that they wouldn't date black people? How would you feel if they said that they wouldn't date black people or have anything to do with them? Once again, I said, are you okay mentally? All right? Because white tea people have said that, do say that all the time. They're actively trying to strip black people of their civil rights right now in the government. I said, it's plenty of white tea people that say they don't like black people, won't date black people, call them monkeys and gorillas and DEI this and DEI that and all of that other stuff. There are people that will tell you, oh, I think you're very attractive as a black person, but I know my parents would wild out if I brought you home, and all of these other type of things, right? So I was already like, I don't understand why you're asking me these questions. So they had already made me upset by asking me those dumb questions, right? So they said, so answer the question. Or are you too afraid to answer the question? Would you date a white tea person, and do you feel, why would you feel upset if we said the same? I said, no, let me block this person. Hold on. Sorry, I had to block somebody for being racist in the chat. So anyway, I said, no, basically I said my ancestors would be rolling around in their graves if I chose one of y'all. That's what I said. And I really said it to be funny. I really said it to be funny because the questions that the person was asking was funny. Like, they were trying to be funny. So I said that no, I wouldn't marry or date a white tea person. My ancestors would be rolling in their grave. And I said that I'm not attracted to white tea men. I said that white tea men, I said ew or something like that. Ew, right? That's what I said. So now let me tell y'all something. I had no idea that those words that I would say in a live in response to a white tea person trying to be funny would offend any black woman in my chat. I had no idea that that would offend a black woman in my chat. So after that, this is a person that I was pretty cool with. I have their number, their personal number. We talk personally in real life. I had hit her up and I said, hey, how you doing? How you and your family doing? They said, oh, we're fine. One sentence. I was like, oh, that's weird. They don't never just send me one sentence. Then I told them that it was good to hear that they were okay, because I said, hey, they one sentence me. Maybe if something's wrong, they'll let me know what's wrong. Let me tell you, this person responds and tells me that they were upset by what I said in the YouTube live. I disrespected them. I made them feel unsafe. I made them feel like I think that they are a Sambo, a tap dancing oon. I'll just say oon so that you know what I'm saying, because I can't say the word. They said that I was calling them an oon and all these other things, and that's how they felt, and they don't want to be my friend anymore or talk to me anymore. And because of what I said, because what I said was very offensive, that I've seen pictures of her daughter and her husband, and I must hate them and all of this other stuff. Now, I was like, I have no idea how you could take that to mean that I hate you or hate your child or hate your husband. Yes, she is married to a white man. And I was like, and then she was like, you disrespected me because you said these things and you knew I was there. And I said, first of all, I didn't know you were there because it's YouTube. YouTube, all these people joined. It was 85 people in the YouTube live. I had no idea that she was there. She didn't comment. She didn't say anything. Even if she did, I don't know her YouTube name. I only know her TikTok name. So I would have never known that she was in there in the live in the first place. I literally had no idea at all. So it was like, for you to say that I am disrespecting you when I didn't even know you was there is crazy. For you to say I'm disrespecting you because I speak up about my distrust of white tea people, and you want me to pretend that that's not how I feel because you have a white tea husband is crazy to me. It's insane. It's literally insane. I want to know how you mad at me because I said that I'm not attracted to white tea men. You're mad at me because I said that I wouldn't date a white tea man. Then she said that it's like, oh, yes, you do know who it is, Miss Good News. Let me say this. She said, well, how do you feel about black women dating out? You said that you didn't have a problem with black women dating out. I don't have a problem with black women dating out. I said that if I was single or whatever, I wouldn't mind dating out. I've said this on my live 1,000,001 times. I personally wouldn't mind dating out. I said the only group that I would not date out in my choice would be white tea men. Everybody else I would consider. I just wouldn't consider white tea men. So I'm not against interracial dating. And if you want to choose a white tea partner, there's nothing wrong with that. It's no hatred here. I'm not spreading hate or division or anything like that. If that's what you choose to do, that's not a problem. I don't understand how if you do something that I have to be okay with doing that too. Now, I think everybody knows that I believe in God or whatever. I believe in the Bible, and people say religion's stupid, God is stupid. People call, God Sky Daddy and all of these things. I never say anything to anyone who says any of those things because I understand why people may come to that conclusion, why people may believe that way, and I respect everybody's differences of opinions and how they believe. I'm not going to try to make you believe. If you don't believe, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why, if I say that it's a safe space for black women, why I can't be included in the safety. Like, I don't understand how me saying that could be considered. Y'all think that is me saying that I am tearing down her choice? But yeah, she didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I just, which is fine. It's really fine. I don't want to, I'm not going to pretend and cap on here and act like I'm devastated because I'm not. I have a family. My husband is my best friend, if I honestly and truly. So I'm not tripping about it. But I do think that I find it to be odd and weird that, because I just don't know what I did wrong. So it's like, I'm a type of person, I like to take accountability. Oh, and I just want to say, I said that I'm sorry. I told her, I'm sorry if I offended you. I'm sorry if I made you feel bad. I'm sorry if, it was not my intention. I said, I didn't know you were there. I had no idea. It was not my intention to be offensive to you. I was just speaking my truth and how I feel. I said, I completely understand why you chose who you chose. I don't have a problem with it. I would love to know what y'all think. Um, about this. But y'all let me know. Let me go back and read the comments. I thought, hey Kamisha, I knew that was you, Kamisha. Let me tell you something. I just, like I said, I don't know what I said was wrong. I could have sworn that black people get on this app every day and talk about Trump and talk about the white tea community and talk about how they're oppressing black people and talk about how they're doing this, that, and the third. They're trying to pull back DEI, try to strip our civil rights, try to do all of these things. Why would you think that, me personally, I would have some type of love affair with people that are actively trying to harm me and my people? I don't understand it. And why you couldn't just accept that and not take it personally. Because I don't have to like your man and your husband. I don't. You have to like your man and your husband. I'm not here to demand anybody to like my husband, anybody to like black men, anybody. I don't care. I don't care if people like black men. I understand why black women coming from where they're coming from. I just don't understand why that same grace was not extended to me. But I just, like I said, that's the only thing I said. I didn't say anything else. I didn't say, like, black women that date out or are bad or they shouldn't do it or nothing like that, because I think black women should do that. Because black men have gotten far too cocky in thinking that black women are going to stay around and only pick from them. So I would never tell black women that they shouldn't date out. They shouldn't experience other communities. Hey, how you doing, supervillain? But yeah, I just, like I said, I really miss good news. I saw what you said. You know what is crazy? I don't even think it was that. I think I think deep down inside she has some type of internal issues with who she chose, and she projected those issues onto me. That's what I think. I think she projected those issues onto me. Like I said, I just wanted to know, was I tripping? Because, like I said before, the live was on YouTube. So I had no idea that she was there. Even if I knew she was there, but if I'm going to be honest with y'all, even if I knew she was there, I don't know if I would have bit my tongue. Because it was a white tea person in the chat trying to be funny. Talking about, oh, yeah, how would you feel if white tea people said they didn't trust black people? Excuse me, y'all do that every day. That's exactly why y'all approach people that are in their own neighborhoods in a car and talk about, oh, I don't think you can have this car. I don't think that you can be in this neighborhood. I don't think that you belong here. I don't think that this is your house. Because they don't trust black people. Or following black people around in stores and acting like they're stealing. All those things come because they don't trust black people. So I don't understand why me saying that I don't trust white tea people would be a problem. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Miss Good News. It's not like I said it. Supervillain, let me tell you something, sis. It's somebody that I've really been cool with here. Like, and in my personal life, I met them on TikTok. Started talking to them offline, being real cool with them. Hey, how you doing, T? And I really, like I said, I'm loving to hear the advice from y'all. I guess it's not even advice because I'm not talking to this person anymore. They blocked me, I blocked them. But I just want to know, do y'all think that I'm tripping? At the end of the day, do like Supervillain, T, Miss Good News, if y'all think that I'm tripping. Now, I think Miss Good News already heard the story, but I'll just say it one more time. Okay, oh yeah, Black Beauty, you said I'm not tripping. I'm going to say it one more time for the ladies that just came in. I wanted to ask you guys a question because a couple days ago, a friend of mine that I've been talking to for about a year now, I met them on TikTok. We started talking in our real lives, talking on the phone, talking in chat, talking text message, all of these things. She's married to a white T man and has a biracial child. And she was upset because of some things I said in a YouTube live. I had no idea she was in a YouTube live, y'all. Like I just already said, because in the YouTube live, you don't know who's in there. You don't know who's in there. Now, TikTok, that's different. I can look on the little list. I can see who's up in here. And you can also join to get on the panel. So, yeah, I knew who was there. But as far as, like I said, here, I didn't know. So, as I said, it was a white T person that came in the chat because I had said in passing in the live that I don't trust white T people. That's the first thing I said. I don't trust white T people. And then a white T person was like, trying to be funny. Okay. Well, how would you feel, if I said as a white T person that I don't trust black people? I said, you do say that. You have said that. You do that. You do all of those things. So what are we talking about here? Historically, you've done it. Currently, you're doing it. What are you talking about? Then they were, just asking me these dumb questions about how would it feel to have like a black person if a white person discriminated against black people or said they didn't trust them or they didn't feel, all of that. So I responded to them. And then they asked me like, oh, well, would you date a white T person? I said no. I said no. And I meant no, I wouldn't. And I said a comment that my ancestors would be rolling around in their graves. Now, I said it because the person was trying to be funny. I probably wouldn't have said it with that much, I wouldn't have said it so rudely if the person wasn't trying to be funny. And I said when she talked about dating white men, I said, ew. I said, ew, like they were unattractive to me. That's what I said. Now, that's my opinion, right? My opinion. That doesn't have to apply to anybody else. They don't have to apply to anybody else what they date, who they choose. I also have been very open with saying that I have no problems with black women dating out. If I if I hadn't been married, I probably would have dated out. I just wouldn't have dated out with a white T person. I've already said this a million different times. If I was interested in dating out, it would be anybody but white T people. I'm sorry. Historically, they've just done too much for me to want to invite that into my life, period. So anyway, after this live, I think everything's cool. I messaged this woman, say, hey girl, how you doing? What's up? She just gives me a one sentence. Then I say, well, I'm glad to hear that things are going on. I felt like something was wrong, but I didn't know what, because I'm thinking I didn't do nothing. So then she responds to me and tells me that she realizes that I think she's a oon and I don't respect her husband. I have negative feelings towards her husband and her kid because I think badly of her. I don't respect her feelings and her emotions. And because I said in the live that I wouldn't date a white T man and that I was not attracted to them. And that my ancestors would be rolling around in my grave if I chose one. In their graves if I chose one. I was confused at that because I constantly say that TikTok and YouTube is a safe space for black women to say how they feel. Black women say things that I may not necessarily agree with all day. Well, black women tear black men up every day. I don't ever be like, oh, my husband's a black man. He's a black man. Don't talk about those black men. My husband's a black man. I don't do that because at the end of the day, I understand where y'all are coming from. And I understand the difference between the collective of black men who y'all are talking about and individual black men. I understand that y'all are talking about the collective. Y'all not talking about my man. And even if y'all was, I don't care. Y'all don't know him. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how people don't make that. Like, it's black women that have come up in my lives and said, y'all still invested in black men? Y'all still trust black men? Y'all dumb. I never tell those black women don't say that. I never tell those black women don't speak on it because I understand where they're coming from. It's black women that come in my lives and say, hey, I'm divested away from men, period. I don't want nothing to do with all men. I never tell no woman not to say none of that stuff because I understand where y'all are coming from. And I'm not trying to silence y'all. If I say that this is a safe space, then it's supposed to be a safe space for all black women who have every different thought process possible. You know, unless it's like damaging to black women. That's the only time I might say something. So y'all just let me know. That's the story. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think that I was wrong? Do y'all think that I beat this woman down? Do y'all think that I disrespected this woman? Do y'all think that I was showing that I have negative feelings towards her innocent, beautiful daughter and her, or what? I really need to know, because that just blew me, bro. That legitimately blew me. Like, that legitimately blew me, man. Like it literally blew me. I was like, wow, like, that's crazy to me. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, let me read y'all comments. T, good morning, T and Joker. Yeah, but like I said, I just like I said, I was flabbergasted because I had no idea that my thoughts would about interracial dating would make you feel some type of way about it. I'm telling you, she has said so many things that go against what I think. I've never ever said anything to her about it because I understand. She said, "Hey man, you know, if you believe in the Bible, you believe in God, you're dumb and all this stuff." I never said anything to her about that because I can understand that's her perspective. So for her not to do the same for me is just like, I'm just like I said, I don't even know what to say. So if y'all could let me know, please, please, y'all let me know what y'all think. And y'all can come up and speak, super villain. And okay, T, did you have anything to say?
Oh yeah, but just let Joker go first because my child is giving me the business.
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh yeah, you can go ahead.
Hey girl, what's going on?
Hey.
I don't know what the situation is, so I don't know if I came in at the ass end of it, but I will say just from what I've heard, and I feel like I can understand where you're coming from and still, disagree with it, right? That's my right to be able to express my opinion. But for me, at the bare basics of this, I don't really think it matters what any of us feel, because everybody's gonna come and some folks is gonna be like, girl, you was cool, this, that, and the third. Other people are gonna be like, girl, no, that wasn't right. In the crux of it all, what it's gonna come down to is however you end up feeling about it, right? If you feel like you was just a right in whatever it is that you said and how you went about it, then that's just what it is at the end of the day, right? How you choose to what's the word I'm looking for? Not fix, but how you choose to address that person from here on out, or if they choose to address you from here on out, that's gonna be up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get asking people for their opinions about, whether we think you was right or whether we think you was wrong, but it ain't up to us at the end of the day. What are you gonna do? Hey, what's done is done. Where you gonna go from here? Right? You either standing 10 toes down, or you know what I'm saying? If it's about interracial dating and that ain't your shtick, it ain't your shtick. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. If it is your shtick, it's your shtick. And it's still fine at the end of the day. I know you're saying that you're married to a black man and you never would. But that's just,
No,
for me.
I didn't even say that. I said I don't have a problem with interracial dating, and that if I was single, I might possibly entertain dating interracially. I said that it would never be somebody white tea. I said that's the only demographic I would never entertain because of historically what has happened. That's what I said. And she took that to mean a whole bunch of stuff that I never said.
Well, I mean, sometimes I just ain't responsible though. If you didn't come to me to get clarification and you internalized it and you took it personal because you think that it was an attack against you, and you didn't come to me and ask me, like, hey, hold fast. You said XYZ. Is that what you think about me? or whatever, because I feel like you was directing that towards me. If I didn't come for understanding, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not about to sit here and placate. I'm not gonna do it, because I don't, you know what I'm saying, all day saying stuff out my mouth, and then people, oh my God, that's how Joker feel about me. Well, if you don't come to me and ask me, and you take it personally and internalize it, and you don't ever tell me about it, then what the hell I'm supposed to do? So, I mean, it just is what it is. If you took it as it was, then, I mean, baby girl, you got to go and figure out for yourself why you felt so personally attacked by the words coming out my mouth. But, I mean, hey, people find their ways to being personally attacked and triggered on this app. And I hate the word triggered anyway, but finding ways to be personally attacked on a consistent and daily basis, especially when they know. I tell folks all the time, if you are attacked by what I said, that means you questioning what you currently doing. That means you feel some type of way about it. You feel wrong, or you feel like you're not in the right, or you feel like you going about it or whatever in the hell. But that's just my take on being coming in on the ass end of anything like that, mama.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. I appreciate you, Joker, for speaking. Let me know how you feel. Go ahead. And I don't think that anything you said was wrong either. Just so you know. Go ahead, supervillain.
Hey, Triggered. First,
Hey,
let
how
me.
you doing?
I am well, but do some housekeeping and implore y'all to tap the live up. I love that Triggered always has a space for great, intelligent, thought provoking conversation. You don't get that a lot on TikTok, y'all, so be appreciative. Tap the screen. I'll say this, and I'm so glad T is up here because T is literally my TikTok bestie. I talk to her outside the app. Me and T have opposing views when it comes to relationship. I respect how she feels. She respects how I feel. We are adults. We understand that we can be friends and not agree on every single thing, as long as we respect one another. Um, I've often heard you speak like this, so I don't know if your friend has never heard your lives before. That was
He
kind of
has.
weird. Huh?
He has.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And by the way, Triggered, you also make a great space for me, even though me and you have opposing views, right? But we're both respectful. I respect your marriage, you respect my choice of separatism. Because we all know that women, as long as they're doing what they choose, that's the most important part. I don't understand why, if someone doesn't agree with 100% of what you do, they feel like you have to be banished or blockhanded forever. Like, people are weird. We're adults. The whole point of us being on this app is that everyone has a different experience. Some of those we share, some of those we don't. Some of those we learn from. Some of those experiences, they either validate our beliefs or give us another way to think about what we've been saying this whole time. I think that it's okay that she felt bothered by it. I think the more adult thing would have been speaking with you because you are her friend and you talk to her outside the app. So that was the weird part for me. I'm never going to invalidate someone feeling how they feel, but if that is your friend, right, you can talk to her about it. Again, me and T talk about things that we don't always agree. If I literally left T a voice note, like, I think 15 minutes ago, right? We don't agree on everything, but we respect each other's choices and we move on accordingly. I don't know if that's a lost art or something, but that's super weird, especially when it comes to friendship. You should be able to talk to your friends about the hard conversations, because who else are you going to talk to about it? Like, I don't know. That's just, I felt that was really weird. I think your friend should have pulled you to the side and had a conversation with you.
I mean, she just went to straight, like she just said that, she wasn't gonna talk to me anymore. She told me that when she told me the two things that really upset her was the fact that when somebody in the chat said, well, how did I feel about YT men? I responded, ew. And now I don't remember saying ill, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I wouldn't say that. So I took accountability. I said I probably did say ill. I'm not gonna say that I didn't, because I'm not attracted to white tea men. I just am not. And she said that I had said that they were repulsive. Now I don't even remember saying that, but I could have said that too. But like I said, the reason why I said any of the stuff I was as hard as I was because it was a white tea woman in the chat trying to be funny. So I was trying to be funny right back at her. So I probably would have never been as harsh with my words if she wasn't trying to be funny from the very beginning. But she said that yeah, she was offended that I said that white tea men were repulsive, and I said ew, and I said that my ancestors would be rolling around in their graves if I chose somebody that was white tea. And my thing is that once again, that's just me. I don't. That's just how I feel about myself. She has told me on many different occasions that she doesn't know a decent human being that is a black man that is good. I remember me and her was talking. I told her a couple things that my husband did for me. I don't really be saying too much on what you call it because you know people think you're trying to be funny. I told her a couple things my husband did like in real life, and she was like, "Oh wow, he seems to be a good black man. There's only like one of them." Or she would say like things about black men that were negative. I never said anything about that because I was like, "That's how you feel. I don't have a problem with that." Like I can see where you're coming from because I have been encountered a lot of ignorant black men. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just like I felt like I extended her a grace that she just didn't give me.
You know what, Trigger? I ain't even gonna hold you. I'll be asking folk, if you find yourself mad or offended by something, are you really my friend though? Like for real, for real. Like that I have to be asking folk that. Because I'm like, I don't think that there's too much that I ever if you're my friend, right? If you're my friend and you know me, and you hung around me, then stuff that come out my mouth, you shouldn't be sitting up there like, oh my God, girl, like taking it personal, right? Again, you could be offended by what I say, but to take it personal and then be like, well, you did this, that, and the third. I'll just be like, I don't really know if because I guess for me, the word friend is it's a sacred word for me. You'll be my associate for years. You'll be somebody I hang with. You'll be somebody I have broken bread with, but I ain't broke bread with. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I'm just like, so for me, I just be like, for real, like, do you really know me at the crux? You know what I'm saying? I feel you, Lynn. Like, do you really know me at the heart of me? If I call you my friend, if you somebody that I'm just associated with, like I said, I broke some bread with, but I ain't broke that bread with, then I could understand you being like, oh my God. But when folks really do be
Joker,
coming to me,
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I feel like your friends can offend you and you can be personally hurt by them because, again, everybody's not gonna agree on things and things can be sensitive. My thing is getting past that. If you don't 100% agree with something with your friend, it is okay. Y'all don't have to agree 100% of the time. Your friends can offend you also too. It's how you get over that. Now, if something like that is what severs their relationship, I'm not gonna, if I were you triggered, I'm not gonna fight it. But my thing is your friends can offend you. You give friends grace. These nignods offend us every single day, and y'all still sleep in the same bed. Not you personally, not y'all, but y'all sleep in the bed with them and tell them they love you every day. But your friend, the first time, or they make an offense, you ready to throw them away. To me, that's weird. You're supposed to work. If anything, friendship is the relationship that you do the hard work with. And I'm gonna say we're not all monolith. Again, T's up here. T is my bestie on TikTok, and I talk to her. We have seriously opposing views on relationships. We do not agree with everything. I respect her point of view. She respects mine. And if we were ever offended about anything, I know I could be like, "Yo, T, I didn't feel like that." Blah 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 blah. We might fight. We might argue a little bit, and then we get over it. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't even say
you
we
don't
even
have to
fight.
100%
I would,
agree.
I wouldn't even say we even fight. Me and you just exchange ideas and say, I think this and I think that, and then we just take it into consideration because at the end of the day, it's all about just respecting each other's opinion, because at the end of the day we all individuals. I don't expect, listen, I straight up say all the time, I don't expect nobody to agree with me. I already come in with that mindset because I already know my type of thinking is completely different a lot of times. Like for instance, like when I say, like with the relationship thing, I say, hey, marry men for money, don't marry them for love. Marry them for, get with them for their money, and if love is so strong, it'll come later. A lot of women do not agree with me on that, especially feminists. Feminists do not agree with the concept of using men because, you know, they view men and women can be equal. It shouldn't be like a stereotype. It shouldn't be double standards. Like, you know, what my view is, I take advantage of double standards, blah, 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 blah. A lot of women do not agree with me on that. And I understand why. I just, only thing that I just ask for is just basically don't police me, and just basically give me a space where I could be comfortable in my own skin without feeling like I'm being basically singled out. You know, that's the only thing I ask for. Basically, just bare human decency of respect. If you don't agree with me, I even respect your boundaries. I won't even bring up certain conversations. I mean, let's keep it a buck. When we have, we all different, have different opinions. Like what happened to me with the, what happened to me in Supervillain with the 4B movement. What's 4B movement? How we all basically, we got ganged up on by a lot of our mutuals because we in a disagreement with the T people. You know,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like that was just a total bull. That was a bunch of bullshit. But it did also make me reveal. It did also reveal who the bitches I roll with and the bitches I don't need to roll with. Honestly speaking, because to be even judge without even asking, yo T, you really feel like that? The only person who actually went on to the side and asked me on the side was actually Tori. That was the only person that spoke to me on the side and asked, "Do you feel like that? You know, that sounds a little T phobic and blah blah blah." And then I explained to her my point of view, and we just kept it pushing. We didn't get upset or any. She didn't get upset with me or anything like that, and that's how it should be, you know. But at the, you know, it's, to me, it's just people just take things too personally when you have your own opinion. You can't sit here and talk about women's liberation and then get mad about what another woman's different view of what she feel what's women liberation. You know what I'm saying? You know, we
And that's
all got
why,
different point of views.
and
I
that's
just
why
want to, I
oh,
just
go
want to
ahead,
say
Trigger.
this. I I don't really I'm an only child, and I don't have any family outside of the family I created, like my kids and my husband. I don't speak to my family, none of them. My mother, my father, nobody. So I don't make friends easily, and nor do I even, and I don't even trust people easily either. So, and I don't like people easily either. Like, I'm just a person that I think I just generally keep people all on the same even keel. I don't really like people easily, if that makes sense. So, for me to take my time to actually like you, to trust you enough to give you, you know, my name, my phone number, we're talking about that eventually I'm going to come down there and visit you and your family, which includes your husband and your child. For you to just want to, you know, say off the rip, this is the first disagreement that we've had, that you don't want to talk to me anymore because I said something about white tea people, or white tea men specifically, and you talk about white tea people all the time, to me was just like, wow, it just made me question everything that we have been talking about. Because if you can easily, you know, just throw away our friendship of a year off one thing, and you don't even want to talk about it, it's crazy. And the thing about it is that it's other times that because I'm a type of person, if I'm your friend, I overlook a lot of stuff, because at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal for me. Like, I'll just ignore it. Like, I'm just a person that, hey, you said something that I feel like that was a little shady, or it was weird, or I just ignore it, because that's just the type of person I am. Unless, you know, you overstep like somewhere crazy and I have to. But other than that, I just chill. I remember she was having this discussion. I ain't gonna tell too much of it because I don't want to be like, I'm not a person that just, I fall out with you, I'm gonna tell all your business, even though this isn't really a big deal. But she had got mad at her husband about something. And I felt like it wasn't really his fault. I'll just say that. And I had tried to tell her, like, I felt like it was really, she was like really tripping and being hard on him. It really wasn't no big deal. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was something minor and it wasn't that big a deal. She got mad at me then and told me that she felt like I wasn't, being a safe space for her and I was attacking her and stuff. And I was saying, well, I was just trying to be your friend and tell you like the other side of it, that because maybe somebody might not tell you sometimes, like if you might be kind of wrong on this, your husband might not have been doing nothing. And once she said all that to me and was like mad and sent me this long text about it, I just shut up. I just was like, all right, well, I just told her, okay, well, I understand your perspective. And, if I overstepped in saying that, I won't say it again. And I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So just to see, this happened, but it's like, okay, I gave you grace when talking about your man. If you thought you want to go ahead and be like a drill sergeant on your husband and beat him down to the ground, that's on you. That's probably the reason. Never mind. I'm not even about to say what I was about to say because that was gonna be messy. I just said that moving forward, I just wasn't gonna say anything to her like about things that I felt like, might hold her accountable or something. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing. So then for her to try to do that same thing on my opinion on what I feel is like, no, I'm not gonna let you check me on how I feel about how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm not tippy toeing and stepping on eggshells for about white tea people. Maybe that's what you want to do, but I'm never gonna do that because historically and currently they never did it. Right now it's DEI this, DEI that. Get black people out of this. Y'all taking the Tuskegee Airmen out of the doggone Air Force training videos and putting it back and taking it out. And y'all want me to tippy toe about feeling like, why would I want to invite that in my life, that type of overt racism? Like, nah, I just can't get with that. But yeah, like I said, I thought we was friends and I thought that we was building like a real relationship, and I'm not a person that calls anybody my friend easily. I ain't gonna just call you my friend and I'm not gonna just talk to you. I don't even do that because at the end of the day, I don't even really like people like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, if I like somebody, it's like a real big deal. But I'd be like, you like them? I'd be like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, that's crazy because I know you don't really like people. So that just made me feel like, for me personally, this whole making friends thing, never again. I would never be friends with somebody offline again, ever again.
What it
I don't even
is,
know if my social media
yeah,
persona.
it's hive. It's
On
like
you.
that hive mind mentality. Like you got to think this type of way, and if you think differently, that means you're an enemy or you're not my friend. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And furthermore, why people really think just because you refuse to sleep with someone that means that you don't acknowledge their humanity. I never slept with a white tea man in my life. Honestly speaking, I never did. And I actually, honestly speaking, have no desire to. Unless he's really, really old and he's a billionaire and he's about to unalive, that's completely different. But that's it. That listen, I'm getting my reparations one way or the other. So on that note, I can't imagine if I had a friend that was in an interracial relationship with a white tea man and she's getting mad at me because that's just how the way I feel. Last I thought this was my vagina, and I really don't see why is that so offensive, because you choose to deal with a certain individual. I can't judge you. And when I say no, I don't want to deal with it, for some reason we become bad people. Like I don't get it. That is weird. It's
That's
weird.
still where I be like, your offense or where you want to be offended at, and the way that you feel offended. But I didn't know that we were supposed to be here to just agree with 100% of everything that each other say and how each other feel. What I do with me is what I do with me. What work for me, work for me. What work for you, work for you. And I just thought that we was meeting in the middle. You heard? Like, that's always my thought process. You got your life, you got the things that you kick off into, because I know I kick off into a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people that don't like my I only want men for what's in between their knees and waist. It's a lot of folk. Oh no, you got it. No, I don't. I don't. And you should respect the fact that that's what I think. That is where they lay the line for me. And that's me. And I don't want nobody else to agree with that because that's what works for me. I know what to do with mine. I don't care. People, oh, you don't care about it? I don't care. I'll bust them down in the backseat of the vehicle, backseat of my Jeep. Let's swing an episode. None of that stuff matters to me. I do what works for me. I do what I can afford to do because this is my life. I don't want you trying to be like, oh, girl, yeah, that's cool. That's this, that's that. Nah, baby girl, you got to live your life and I live mine. And I just thought that we was meeting in the middle. And if we meet in the middle, that means that we can share common goals or common interests or common themes or, common thoughts at times, right? We can do that at times. But then the rest of the time and that's to me what makes a relationship, a friendship, actually go is the fact that if I do something and I want to come bounce it off of you, I'm coming to bounce it off of you because I'm expecting you to give me a different perspective.
All right, okay, I got you. All right, I'm gonna go here to Supervillain and then Loudmouth. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Lynn triggered. What's
Oh,
up?
Lynn.
This
Okay,
my
okay, Lynn.
backup.
Sorry about that.
You
Thank,
cool.
thank you, Trigger. I got a windmill capitalism that should got me in a chokehold right now, but I just wanted to leave by saying, you mentioned earlier about how you are a single, or you're the only child. I have 6 siblings. 4 of them are sisters. I also have a hard time making friends because I already have my built-in friends from like all ages. The youngest is 13, the oldest is 45. So I have friends in all ranges because they're my siblings who I live with. I also find it hard to make friends. That's why when I make friends, it is really intentional. It is people I really click with. That's why, again, I said when things like that come up, like, I don't know if you don't have the experience, but if you've grown up with a whole bunch of siblings, you're going to understand that the people you love the most is going to hurt your feelings. Like the people
Facts.
that you live in the same house with are not going to have the same feelings or beliefs, even though y'all were raised by the same parents. So my whole thing about it was you can disagree with your friend. That is human nature because we are not the same people. The getting over it part, the part where you say, you know what, friend, this hurt me, and the getting over it part, that's what makes friendships. Or else life would be boring if we all agreed, right? And another thing, T had brought up something that we went through on this very app. I just want to say this. That shit was very telling. I'm not going to go into the details, but my thing is, it's weird how someone can disagree with you about something, but agree on maybe 95% of the things, and those other things are toxic. Like when we get up on this app and talk about these nignogs, like you said, Trigger, that is also being a bit racist, right? When we say we don't trust white tea people, that's you know what I'm saying? That's being racist. When we like all the other stuff we talk about and being toxic is fine, but if it's a certain subject, oh, that crossed the line. That's what gets people kicked out of the circle. And I just feel like that's very hypocritical. And I only bring that up because T had brought that up. A lot of people know that story that me and her actually went through. But anyway, that's beside the point. My thing is, you don't have to agree on 100% of things. I don't expect people. I'm a separatist feminist. I know a lot of women ain't going to be doing what I'm doing. But I still respect other women. I respect that you have a beautiful marriage, Triggered. I respect that T is a misandrous gold digger. Like, I respect all women's choices because the woman is choosing to do it. And to me, that's what makes you a true feminist. Triggered, thank you for having me. Y'all tap the screen. She always leaves a great space for great conversation. Y'all show appreciation. Again, I got a windmill capitalism, Triggered, but I'll
All
pin the
right.
comments. Take care.
All right. Thanks for commenting too. I appreciate you giving me your perspective. I really do. Cause I was really thinking about like I just needed to know like was I tripping because I am a type of person that if I'm wrong, I'm not one of those people. You got people that are afraid to say they're sorry, or afraid to say they're wrong, or acknowledge they're wrong, or they don't take accountability for their actions. I'm not one of those people. Like if I'm wrong, I'll say, "Hey, man, yeah, I was out of pocket for that." But with that, with me knowing that I'm that type of person, if I know I ain't do nothing, then I'm gonna sit there like, wait a minute now. I don't feel like this is something that I did that was wrong. So and I just want to just bounce it off other people to see if I was like, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Lynn.
Good morning.
Hey.
I was listening to y'all conversation and I wanted to jump in at one point, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get the beginning. But friendship, so like supervillain, I have four sisters actually, and we all different, but love my sisters down. And I got a slew of cousins, love my cousins down. So I have built-in friends. So it's never been like that deep for me to make friends because I have like all my built-in friends, right? But unfortunately for me, I be collecting friends, close friends, best friends, like a goddamn infinity stone. Like I have best friends from every level of my life. Like and they truly are my best friends. Like I qualified them as, you know, the best of friends because we done been through some shit and got through some shit together. Um, my longest standing best friend is somebody I've been best friends with since we was 10. Um, and her mom's my godmom, and she's more like family. Like all my friends end up turning into family, coming around. She's literally family. Actually, her daughter is now my cousin. Because she had a baby by my cousin, so she's literally my family now. But anyway, longest standing friendship, and one day I got on the app and I heard the feminist women, a bunch of feminist women, talking about how you know, oh, if my friend is with a man, she asked me for money, then I can't. I'm not gonna give her money because why you won't ask your man? I disagree because my best friends, my friends, they mean everything to me. At one point, um, when if a friend need $10, if a friend need $10 and I only got 20, my friends know I'm gonna break bread and give them that 20. However, characteristics is the reason why they my friends. Like who they are is the reason why they my friends. So like when women get to moving funny, because I think I heard Supervillain talking about like, oh, we forgive these men. I don't be forgiving these men because I believe in, you know, you if you keep doing the same action over and over again, you're going to instill that in you, right? And you're gonna accept that type of behavior. So when men be moving funny, I'm gonna give them a chance to explain. If the shit ain't making sense, you gotta go. That's just for my self-worth and my self-respect. That's how I feel. And I believe in treating friends the same way because at the end of the day, people be humans. Women be manipulating just like men be manipulating. So once women get to moving funny and acting funny, and I have considered you a friend, you knew what you did. You gotta go too. My friendship didn't mean that much to you when you did what you did to me. Therefore, if it ain't no reasonable explanation, I'm gonna give you a chance. If it ain't no reasonable explanation and you did too much, you gotta go too. That's for my self respect. That's for my self worth. So I won't get in the habit of letting people treat me any kind of way. Because if I let you treat me any kind of way, then I'm gonna accept a man treating me any kind of way, or I'm gonna accept my sister treating me any kind of way. We can have a disagreement, but once it turns into disrespect, blatant disrespect, or you're blatantly trying to hurt me or bring me down, you have to go, just like a man will have to go. Because I'm not going to get in the habit of letting people disrespect me in a certain way and letting people treat me a certain way. And I think women, we need to adopt that mindset because women historically have been people pleasers and letting not only men, but women play in their face. And I'm not going to let no woman play in my face. I'm not going to let no man play in my face. You're just not going to have the right to do that. And nobody has the right to my forgiveness or me working it out. If you did something and I don't want to be around you no more, respect my boundary, move on, go hang out with somebody else. Because to me, you crossed the line. And I have the right to say that. I don't want someone in my life who crossed the line and did something to me that I don't feel is redeemable for my self respect. That's for me. I put myself first, and that's what I preach to women. Every single woman. Put yourself first. The people who's supposed to be in your life will be in your life. I've had my best friends, like I said, for years. One since high school, one since elementary, middle school, One since I turned 18, got my first job. Like, they've been in my life for years. I have friends all over the place that know me, know my attitude. And like you said, Joker, they know me. They don't get offended easily, but we can talk about any offense. But one thing they won't do is disrespect me or talk about it behind my back. So um that's how friends supposed to move. Because like Supervillain said, these women know how to move with men. So you should know how to move with your friend. And if you don't, you gotta go, baby. That's just how I feel. And I'll end.
All right, I got you. I got you. I mean, I think that everything that you said was right. I don't think anything that you said was wrong. You know, it's crazy because I don't know if I necessarily felt disrespected by her, being upset that I said that I wasn't into white tea men. I was, I said ew when talking about them. I just was confused as to why she would think that my opinions on what I think about white tea men would have something to do with a judgment of her. Because if I say this platform is for black women and black women only, you should only care about my thought processes when it comes to black women. And as far as a black woman being going, I thought she was amazing, intelligent, attractive, smart, well-grounded black woman. So I don't think anything bad about you. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's the same type of when, you know how like a lot of times men, they bring a woman around, and if their friends don't like that woman or they don't think she's attractive, even though they may think that she's beautiful or intelligent, they may kick that woman to the curb because they care so much about their friend's opinion of who their partner is. I feel like it was like that because it's like, why do you care what I think about your man? Like because I don't care what anybody thinks about my husband. You could think he's ugly. You could think he's not ugly. You could think he's nice. You could think he's not nice. You could think anything. I don't care because at the end of the day, the only person's opinion that matters is me, is mine. So it's just like, why do you care that I'm not attracted to white tea men? Like that doesn't. Even if I thought, whoa, that's not something I would do. That doesn't reflect on you.
I think she probably is taking it as like a criticism when you talk about certain things. That's where she is getting offended. But
I think T got a phone call.
if I'm gonna be, y'all, what's the last thing y'all heard? Because
Uh,
I wasn't looking at my phone.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, you said that she thought you a criticism of her.
Yeah, basically, she thought basically when you talk about interracial relationships or let's just say biracial children, whatever, she's taking it personally because that's the life that she's in, and she's basically feeling like offended, like as if you're trying to dig at her and try to like say like some low key shade when that's not the case. That's actually like a you problem, if I'm gonna be blunt, like that's like a her problem kind of thing, because that's not what you're trying to imply. Like it's anything wrong with dating interracially. You said that multiple times. You never said you hate white tea people. You just said basically you just don't trust them. That's about it. And you never said that any black woman that's married to a white tea man, I don't trust you neither. You never said those things. I think what a lot of times, a lot of people make up stuff in their head or what they want to, like they want to feel offended, because they already probably feel like they're already in this interracial relationship. Oh, I already feel like the world is going to judge me. And now here you saying this, like, I think that was all like possibly even projection. That could be a possibility, that, she like, or just basically just want to be a victim for no reason. And me personally, I can't stand when people do stuff like that. Like, listen, like I didn't say anything. Listen, it's nothing against you. Just like I don't feel offended when people talk about single mothers. So many times I scroll and hear people mentioning single mothers having babies out of wedlock. I don't get my panties in a bunch. I don't do flips and dips and get upset and jump on a panel. I'ma tell you bitches something about what y'all saying about single mothers. No. Oh, I'ma tell you dudes, I'ma tell you something about single mothers. No, I don't do that. I just go, okay, and just keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, okay, you have a right to your opinion. I mean, I don't know, maybe because I'm just not so easily offended, because I understand the concept that every human being is different. I even had conversations with even sadist worshipers, on this app. Like, because I'm just an interesting person, and I'm interested in a lot of different things, and I can hold a conversation just about, I guess, with everybody. And I guess that's the geek part of me, that I like to like interview people. I like to ask people questions. I am on the phone. You blast that? Hold on.
I just think that it falls around folks, wanting to. Again, I always tell folks, if you take it that personal, you literally have to feel some type of way about the current situation that you're in. You don't feel right in what you're doing. I don't have to defend anything, right? If you say I'm bitter, or I see people talking about single mothers, or I see people talking, I think the only thing I probably will step in on, and that's a sometime, it depends on how I'm feeling, is if I see people talking shit about the military, right? And I know when I know that you talking out the side of your neck, right? You can have your opinions, but don't talk outside of your neck. But even then, I still don't join in, because I ain't got to defend shit. Why do I have to come and try to defend something that I may be a part of that community, right? So, like with single moms, I'm a single mama. I ain't got to go defend it, right? I ain't got to go. Why? What would make me so upset? That's why when people be jumping into lives and shit, I don't like when y'all be talking about black men and that. Why, nigga? If it's not about you, or even if you are, you talk about black men and I'm a black man, but am I talking about you though? And even if the things that I'm saying could possibly apply, if you feel that you are grounded 110,000, a million percent in what it is that you're doing, why are you up here trying to defend it to a whole bunch of people that are still going to have their opinions about it and about you when the conversation is over with? So whatever you want to go through, all this stuff that I see, black women don't want this, black women don't like this, black women want to be victims, hey, bro, I ain't got to come defend none of that shit. Now, I will say to the prompt that you got up, I do feel like black women need to have a heart to heart, because I do feel like sometimes when we're talking about black women, and there's some black women that just feel like no matter what, you should not disparage, right? Nah, if you being dumb and you acting like a bitch, I'm gonna call you as such. You's a dumbass bitch. You's a stupid ass bitch. I might even call you a stupid ass hoe. It depends on where I feel. Cause like I told somebody the other night, I know old hoes when I see them, right? Old hoes know old hoes. So let's just get this shit out the goddamn way. But we always trying to, well, black men are talking about, but baby girl, that doesn't mean that I still cannot have, be in disagreement with some of the shit that a lot of us do, right? Like coming in with that old ass, you got to be modest and bullshit like that. Like, I don't call people pick-me's because I hate it, just simply because we have, the word has been sullied, right? It doesn't even hold the same context that it used to hold. So I don't be calling bitches, pick-me's or nothing like that or whatever. Because I'm just like, that's just crazy. But when it just all comes down to it, I don't want my friends to agree with me. I don't even want people that aren't my friends to agree with me. I don't need you to kiss my ass and tell me that the sun is shining. Bitch, I know the sun is shining. Yeah, agree with me. Like, girl, yeah, that's right. You right on. I'll be like, yeah. But I'm still going to be who I am at the end of the day. I act this way in public. I act this way online. I act this way, or I act this way at my job. Well, when I had a job, because I left. My baby all up behind me. So I'll just be like, I feel like a lot of folks, y'all got online personalities that get fueled by other people's personalities on TikTok. And then you got your real personality where you act and where you are, right? When I listen to people talk about how they don't like men and da-da-da-da-da, hey, girlfriend, that's you. Like even with the 4B, I like dick. I ain't giving it up. All right. I'm sorry. I can support it. I can support anybody that wants to participate. Baby, you got my participation. But me and the dangling, I'm sorry. I like it. I like to put it on my face. I like the way it be in my mouth. I like it all goddamn day. That's what I like. So I can't get down with that. But then for people to say that, oh, well, you can't be a part of this. Hey, that's cool. Hey, that's cool. Cool beans. Cool freaking beans. So I just really pick Penelope. I just really be like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. Joker, I cannot deal with you, girl. You are cracking me up, like, honestly.
I mean, like, and I be telling folks, like, y'all be so afraid about what's about. I don't give a damn with nobody who is
Oh
in
my
the
goodness.
hallway, on this panel, in the car. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all think about me at the end of the day, right? I can't. I'm still gonna be doing this. I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm probably gonna do it this afternoon. I'm probably gonna talk about it tonight. Everybody know if I got the chance, I'll sneak a dick in there. If I will sneak a comment in there if I can, right? Depending on what the situation is, I will turn it that way just because that's what be on my mind 24/7. But I like it when I can be in spaces and places where everybody, even if I don't like what you said, I could be like, hey, I don't really like what you said. I could tell you why I didn't like what you said. We can discuss it a little bit and then we can move the fuck around. And that's to what Supervillain was saying. It's the purpose of being able to move past it once it's done. I just want to move the fuck around. You know what I'm saying? We can shake hands in the middle. You ain't got to like it. I ain't got to like it, but we shake hands in the middle. And then, the conversation just goes on and everybody's cool. Not you in a Discord talking about me, or you run into another live talking about me, or like, damn, that bitch right there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then just don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Or if you feel like you the one that's always got to try to come and challenge my views. You can't always, baby girl. I mean, you can challenge it, but don't get mad with the shit that I'm fit to say. That's about to come out my mouth.
Don't that
But
shit be annoying though? Like,
it do.
like must be challenged in every goddamn thing we say. Like every time we say something, somebody got to put on their cape and like I'm a battle your ass. Like see. Let me cook. Oh, clock it clean. Like that is so fucking annoying.
And
It's
that's
like
what it,
TikTok had made everybody to this Batman vigilante type of Avengers and want to be like a superhero. Like everything. If you was to say Joker, you know what, the color pink to me is not exactly a really flattering color. And here comes someone up their ass. Listen, let me tell you something about historically about the color pink. Pink is a representation of a good character. Like, come on, like, wow. Whoa, this is just my damn opinion. You don't have to challenge someone and you don't have to try to change somebody's mind. Like this obsession with trying to change somebody's mind and like I want to defend people like nobody. Listen. All of it that's gonna get your ass whooped out in the streets. You're lucky we on the internet because if I said something like in the store, I'm minding my business. Someone asked me a question and I said something, and someone tried to jump up in my face and try to tell me anything different. Yeah, that you know what I mean. I'm just saying in New York that that might lead to something where the popo's gonna get called. So like all of this about when people hear someone say something and they run and go make a live. I wanted to go make this live because I heard T said that she don't trust people who wear blue socks. Like okay, like that is just so so it's almost comical, if I'm gonna be honest.
All right, you guys. Since you guys are talking about all of this, now we could get back to the topic or whatever that I put up here. Cause like I said, what I had y'all about, I just really just wanted to just to have some checks and balances to make sure I wasn't bugging out. But I don't know if you guys, I'm sure that y'all have seen this whole Kitty and Kitty Rose and Ace Metaphor and all that stuff. And I will say this, like when I saw those like video clips of Kitty acting in a way and what she was doing, you know what I'm saying? That's to each his own. I'm not tripping about that. But I'm tripping about if you try to always be somewhere acting like, Queen, just like Supervillain said in the comments, Queen Penelope, and you trying to shame black women for dressing a certain type of way or acting a certain type of way, and you're talking about that black women need to do all of these things to be looked at as a good woman for black men and all this, and I find that you out here on live talking about, tossing salads and, getting R. Kelly'd on, that's when I have a problem. And it's crazy because I had like two TikTok accounts back when I used to make like pro black content before I changed from making pro black content to like pro black women content only. Um, I think it was my second page that I had got shut down. It had a lot of followers on there too. I had said I remember she was in her car and she was talking about like, black women, this is why y'all ain't got no husbands. This is why y'all ain't got no men. Let me show you how to get a man. Let me show you how to get a husband. But she didn't have a husband at the time. And so I remember saying that this lady is totally grifting black women. She over here charging $1,000 for classes to get a husband and she didn't have one. And I said that she was full of it. I said that she was like a pick me. She was just trying to make black women feel bad about themselves and make it feel like she had the choice. And I just knew that she was fake. And I remember talking about it, and I remember it was a lot of black women that agree with me, but then there was a lot of black women that were her supporters because she didn't have as many as she had now. I think she had like 100K back then. And I remember her followers came on my page and told me that, I was jealous of her. I was hating, she's trying to help black women and all this stuff. And I remember even Kitty Rose came to my page and told me, you know what I'm saying, and tagged me and told me I was a hater and tried to get some more of her followers to come on my page and all of this other stuff. And I just want to say that I wish that we as a community would start to really realize grifters when we see one. If you got a woman that's in her car and she telling you that black women are bad, this, that, and the third, and they're not treating men right, and she knows how to tell you how to get the man of your dreams and all of this other bush, I'm gonna tell you right now, she's a grifter. And can't nobody on this planet tell you how to get a man, can't tell you how to get a good man, most definitely not, can't tell you how to get the man of your dreams, because good men are very few and far between. That's number one. And number two, a good man is very subjective to whoever's with it. You may be with a man that you like and everything that he got going on is good for you, but the next woman may see that man and be like, I could never do what you doing, girl. I don't like him. All of those things are so subjective, but I just am real tired of people acting like they surprised when people come out being grifters. And it's the same thing with Ace Metaphor. He's just like that other dude. What's his name? I forgot his name. I'm not going to say his name anyway to be messy, but he's another goofy dude. He goofy. He look lame. He already been exposed for saying stuff that he wasn't supposed to about black women, but he's also got the grifter hat on and black women be all in his face and all in his lives and stuff supporting him. And it's just like, it's so weird to me because any other day, black women will come up and say how they don't trust black men, how black men have let black women down and all of these things. But all it takes is for a man to get on live and talk about black woman, you the queen, black woman, I love you, black woman, you're so great. All of a sudden, this black man got all this type of trust. Even though he's motivated because he wants clout and he wants you to pay his bills with your views, your likes, your gifts, your cash apps, whatever. It just don't make no sense. And this lack of like judgment and black women being able to see a bogus black man is the reason why I feel like so many black women have so many bad experiences. Cause I be like, clearly your picker is off. You can't realize a fake dude that don't mean you no good. And the Ace Metaphor, he just, like I said, he's another goofy. That's another, like, I feel like archetype of black man that tries to pander to black women. An ugly dude that was probably always overlooked, but now he feels like he got the key. All he got to do is pander to black women and act like he care, and that will allow him to get into somebody's draws. That's what a lot of them do, the ugly, funny looking ones. And the fact that he used to work with Derek Jackson, who is the big daddy grifter of all grifters of all time, the Optimus Prime of grifters, is crazy how any black woman could ever trust him in the first place. But I just want to know y'all thoughts on that. Y'all let me know. But I'm gonna let what this person Khaki speak first, and then you other the rest of you ladies, y'all can speak. But since I just let this person up, go ahead, Khaki, if you had something to say.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm gonna say is confrontational. Is that okay or what?
I mean, yeah, you can say it, but just understand that you'll get confronted back. But you can go ahead.
Of course, of course. All right. So you just said, you know, I don't know if you were specifically referring to the Kitty Rose woman, but you said she can't tell you how to get a man or something like that, and that's true to some extent. But like, what you said, a good man is subjective, and that's not true. Okay.
It's
Um,
definitely true. How would you know? You're not a woman.
no,
Do
no,
you
no. I
date
don't
men?
have Miss T. I don't have to be a woman.
Now, I'm
Okay.
not T. My name is Triggered. You can just call
Sorry.
me Triggered. Yeah.
All right, Miss Trigger, that's not true. I don't have to be a woman, okay? You can be a woman and tell me what a good woman is, or at least what a good woman is, what a good woman is not, at least, okay? Now, do we each got preferences for certain things? Of course, but not all of our preferences overlap with a good mate. So you can't just say that.
I'm curious though, for real,
Uh,
for real.
wait, just 1 second. Let me say this, okay? Um, a woman that is in her car that is already exhibited behavior that is in direct opposition to what she is telling women that they should or should not be. I would never in my life take advice from that woman. I personally have been married for 15 years to my soulmate. I cannot advise women on how to find their soulmate because that is something that could happen or could not happen. That's up to God. I have no way to advise a woman on how to attract somebody in their life. It's unrealistic and it is predatory to tell women that you can do that. It's predatory to tell women that you can behave in a certain type of way in order to attract the man. It's also predatory to tell women that all you need to do is cater to this man and be his doormat in order to get a good man, because that is opening women up to be taken advantage of. Like I said, I'm never going to listen to any woman that doesn't practice what she preaches. You're telling women on shows that you don't like how they're dressed because they're not representing themselves as women, or you don't like how these women are talking, or these women are promiscuous, her words, and so that's the reason why they're not going to be taken seriously by men. But then I turn around and see a video of you proudly, openly talking about you tossing salads, talking about you like to get R. Kelly'd on, talking about you like to see videos of men urinating. That means that you're not practicing what you're preaching. And I'm not trying to kink shame nobody. If that's what you into, that's what you into. I'm not into bodily fluids, but if that's what you want to do, cool. But you can't represent yourself to be Mrs. Holy, Holy, Holy Roller to women and shame them for what you perceive them to be when you're that same way behind the scenes. That's not cool. And as far as men, you cannot tell a woman what a good man is, because there are a lot of things that men think that it doesn't make up a good man, which makes up a good man. And I can't tell a man what a good woman is, because there are some men that think a good woman is just her being an equal, supporting him, them going through life together as partners. Then there are other men that think good women are ones that have to mammy, mule, sacrifice, go 50-50, go home and do all of the work, take care of the kids and do all of those things, and also get beat up on Saturdays and Wednesdays. But that all of those things are indeed subjective on the type of man that you are. I don't know how that's
No,
a
no,
yeah.
no, they're not. No, they're not.
Okay. Tell me how, sir.
So-
You can go ahead. You can go ahead,
oh,
Khaki.
okay, okay. Um, they're subjective to an extent. Okay, there's a area of attraction to where you have some flexibility. You can say, that you can't just group every characteristic into just good or bad. I understand that. Okay, but there are some behaviors where clearly it's not suitable as a long-term mate. Okay, now am I going to go and list 100 characteristics? No, but we can look at certain characteristics and for sure that's not a good mate. Okay, um obviously someone knocking your head between a washer, that's not a good mate, or just mamming for somebody, like, okay, but then where do we draw the line between mamming versus just being affectionate or catering to your partner. And that should come from both the man and the woman. It's not just one or the other, but you have some people from men or women, whether we're talking about the red pill or the women who are extreme black women's empowerment, making it seem like if you cater to a man at all or kiss his ass, you're automatically being his slave. That's ridiculous. You have men run around telling other men that, oh, well, you don't pay for no chick or whatever kind of, philosophy like that they want to spread. You got to show a woman that whatever, show as little interest as possible. These kind of things, like these are clearly not suitable for a long-term relationship. So while we can't tell someone what to be attracted to exactly, we can point out some characteristics that even if you are attracted to it, it's not going to work for a mate.
Okay, so tell us 3 things of what you're talking about. 3 things.
Okay. All right. This is my favorite one, and I hate to bring this up. Okay. But in our culture, Black American culture, I see a disproportionate amount of black women entertaining men who's already got kids that they don't take care of. It's just like, now, does that automatically make him a bad man? No, he's not necessarily a bad man off the bat. But is that, if you don't have children, is that the first person you want to entertain? And then maybe he barely keeps a job. And then, like a lot of the black women are not being honest. They're not being honest.
And not taking care of his kids is not a bad person.
What's crazy to me is that it's so weird that oftentimes when black men discuss the things that they don't like about black men is directly, when black men discuss the things they don't like about black women, those things that they don't like are directly connected to the behavior of black men. It seems like you would talk about why there are so many black men that don't take care of their children that these women are choosing from. That would be a better conversation to have, as opposed to talking about the women. Because when black women say, I don't want a black man with kids, I don't want a black man that's been to jail, I don't want a black man that wants me to go 50-50, I don't want a black man that's this, that, and the third, y'all say that black women are too uppity and they don't deserve what they're asking for. So I don't know. Either do you want black women to give black men a chance, which I don't think that they should, but do you want that, or do you want black women to have shoot for the stars? Because anytime I see black women who have high things that they want out of a man, out of a black man, then all of a sudden I see her torn apart, picked apart, nitpicked, and everything else under the sun. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? And when we talk about women that are involved with men, a lot of things come along with black men. Like, black men are statistically higher to make you a single mother, regardless of whatever race that you are. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 90 or 92% of white tea women that are single that have children by black men are single mothers. That y'all leave any woman that you touch is a greater instance of her being a single mother. So those are things that just go along with being involved with black men. So if anything, you would say, well, hey, my problem was that black women need to start dating out. They need to choose they need to choose somebody else besides us, because clearly we don't know how to be sexually disciplined. I don't understand how that is the black woman's fault.
Okay. First, that stat that you just put out.
Can you let other people talk right quick?
Some people.
Hey, Joker, just 1 second. I just want to.
She put out stats. I have to address that.
You can go ahead.
Very briefly. Okay, look, that stat you just put out about some 9%. That's an old, flawed, and outdated study. So that's not even. I'm not even going to accept that. Okay, and
it's absolutely true.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. Well, I say no. You say yes. Well, who? Okay.
I'll just pull up the numbers, and also I can pull up the numbers that a lot of the children that are in the foster care, the homes that have been left are biracial children, because the white women are shamed because they have a black baby or biracial baby, excuse me, and the black men are not there and they don't want to take that child back to their homes. Those numbers.
You gotta give us you have to give us a source or something when you pull up generalizing stats like that. You gotta give us.
I'm not generalizing anything. We're having a conversation, like a real-time conversation, so it's not like I can actually go pull it, but I will go pull it though.
All right. Well, I'll let the other person, lady.
No, we're not gonna do that. You know, if he's not pulling those stats, neither are you. No.
I didn't make a.
You made a demand.
I didn't say no. I didn't say 50% of this, 50%. I didn't do that. I just said she asked what I see as a deficiency.
No. If she has said a stack and you got the evidence to dispute it, then you produce the evidence.
No,
The
no.
burden is on you.
I just came on the stream. I don't have stats readily available.
And
Come
then
on.
how are you going to tell her that it's wrong? But
All I'm
Lynn, go
saying
ahead
is
right quick, Lynn, and then I'll go after you. Go ahead, Lynn.
If Trigger wanted him to still go, am I cool
No,
to go, Trigger?
you guys, y'all can go. I just wanted to combat some of the things that he said, but I think he wants to hear y'all speak first, and then I'll let him go again because I don't want him to feel like I'm trying to silence him. Go ahead, Lynn.
Okay. I just want to say I agree with you 100% when you talk about like Kitty Rose in her car and stuff like that. I think that it's not advantageous for Black women to try to conform to the actions of white women, because when I say that, I say that I notice that white women have a certain way that they treat men, and it's disrespectful to themselves. That's why I feel like a lot of people are angry with Black women, because of the way that Black women represent themselves and respect themselves, as far as not letting people play in their face. And that's not our problem. Your What y'all need to do is, become better people, and also have the same boundaries and rules towards yourself. But me lowering my not letting people play in my set face meter is not gonna happen. If white women want to be docile and taken advantage of and abused and mistreated, go ahead and let them do that. But Black women, because I always hear, oh, Black women are aggressive, Black women are this, tropes that are not even true in the first place. Me telling you, hey, don't talk to me like that is not aggressive. Me telling you, hey, don't treat me this way is not aggressive. But also the stats and the stereotypes for like Black parents, right? Because they'll consider you a single mother if you're not married and live with your baby father. But saying that all single mother, and that's fine. Some black some Black men are there for their kids. I think majority of Black men are there for their kids. It's just a portion of Black men who are not shit. Um, and I think y'all need to learn what propaganda is. People need to learn what propaganda is, because if you go back and you watch movies from the lens of knowing, you'll understand the heavy propaganda and tropes that are placed on Black women, and not only Black women, Black people. It's the same thing that immigrants view when they come to this country, and they see like, oh, Black people are criminals, they're dangerous, into one, not even generalize, but to group us all into one and say all not marrying. That's because
Getting into these conversations, one, you have to understand the difference between controversial and words matter. Definitions matter. And when you come up and try to excuse something, because I can tell you right now, neither nor of what you're saying is controversial or confrontational, right? They don't even fall into the guidelines of being on either sides of that. Two, I find it quite amazing that we still don't understand the difference of subject, right? Subjectiveness, subjective and objective, right? If you don't know the definition of it, of course, you're going to misuse it in trying to explain your position. Black people are not monoliths. What looks good to one may not look good to the other, right? What works for one
I want
may
us to
not
sit
work
down and
for
do
the
the
other.
math once and for all,
What?
because I'm not under.
I don't think she knows that she's not muted. There you
I
go.
muted her. I muted her. Because I don't think she knew either.
And I was like, wait, what?
Go ahead, Joker.
And I find it quite amazing when, and this is what I was talking about earlier, when people see stuff and then they or they hear something on they come in and they hear it on the ass end and they feel like they have to come in and defend, right, their position, because they feel like what they're saying and what they have going on is the right way. And this is the only way that they have to go in when nobody asks to go and defend something that is not even truly what was going on. And that's that thing about getting offended. Oh my God, they're talking about black men. Let me run in there right quick because I gotta go and defend black men, and I gotta go tell black women that you all know what y'all. Hey, look, y'all black women going about it wrong, right? Y'all black women ain't doing it this way. You as a man, and it is a woman, another woman telling another woman about what a good man is. That's going to be based upon her perspective and her experiences in her life. A man telling another man what a good woman is again based upon the same thing. And depending upon the person who is receiving this information, they have to decide for themselves that if the things that that person is saying is applicable to the life that they actually are going to be trying to live. Y'all get good and be running around here with the word good and don't. I mean, it's a dumbass thing because everybody's going to say that they're good. Everybody tends to generally think something of themselves. You got people that be like, oh, I ain't shit. And you got people that come, no, don't say that about yourself. You're this and you're that. Whatever. If I feel like I ain't shit, if I tell you I ain't shit, that's exactly what it means. I ain't shit. Who are you to try to come and tell me that I am? If I come and I say that I'm good, then people will come and be like, nah, that ain't what good is. You know, this is what good looks like. Da, 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 da. Because when y'all niggas get to talking about good, it's based upon pocketbooks and your penis, right? And then we'll throw it in leading and protecting and all that other bullshit.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, Mom.
Oh no, that's okay. I was just gonna see if he had any response to anything that you lady said.
Yes. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Loud something. I can't see the rest of it.
Lynn.
Uh,
You just call me Lynn.
all right, Miss Lynn. Okay, so towards the beginning, what you were saying, you mentioned something about you're not gonna let someone play in your face. Okay, so off the bat, you're already starting from a scarcity mindset. You're already looking towards a negative outcome. Okay, I would never suggest that you accept that someone playing in your face. That's not. But again, why is that the first example you go to? You know, so I
How
just
she should
disagree with
move. That's her personally. That's not for
no
you
no
to
no no no
judge.
no 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 she
That's
no no no
her personally.
no ma'am no
Personally.
ma'am no ma'am
You can't
no
tell
ma'am
her how to think, how the way she's
yes
moving
yes
as a
yes
as
I
a
can
woman. You can't.
yes I
Who are you, the king of what? You're the king of
T,
shit. You
ma'am
ain't nobody.
T,
Who are
T,
you?
T, let
ma'am
T, T, let him. I'm interested. I'm interested for investigative purposes only.
we
I'm interested to hear what you are about to say. Go ahead,
okay all
Khaki.
right so yes, I can. It doesn't mean I'm the king of her or I can tell her, but I can give guidance. I can give advice. Okay. Now, whether you choose to accept it or not, okay, that's something different. But I don't understand how some of y'all will talk about, oh, black men don't lead and this and that. Well, what do you think part of leadership is? It doesn't mean that, oh, I say something and you just accept it. That's not what it means. But if I'm providing some kind of feedback, okay, you don't have to agree with it all, but there may be something in there that may be of use to you. That's part of leadership and whatever else you want to call it. Provision and leadership is giving good advice, is giving critique, whether to the men or the women. Okay, so you can't just pick and choose which parts of patriarchy and provision you want. Okay, I provide some stuff, you accept it or not. Okay,
Okay,
now
Khaki, you said that you provide the leadership. I would like you to understand that you can only provide leadership to a woman that puts you in that position. So, like, if you have a woman that decides to accept that, but you can't say that you're a leader of just random black women and they're supposed to take your words and your things that you say, because that's not what that is. Like, you being a man doesn't give you the right to lead over any black woman that you see. You know what I mean? That's a little unhinged. I hope you
of course,
understand.
okay, of course, but look,
Also, it's not
it's not about
pessimistic,
me.
it's pragmatic. I look at life for how
Okay,
it is, not how I want it to be, or not negatively. So therefore, if you treat me wrong, then I will act accordingly. If you treat me great, I will act accordingly. That's a pragmatic approach to go about life, and it's healthy, says my therapist. So don't, if you haven't been there, if you don't have the tools to become a well-rounded individual, and I do, I think you need to be taking the advice from me. Because
It's a scare.
I know
It's a
how to
even
set no, I know how to set boundaries, honey.
or
I
it's
literally
even so, like who no he like you said, like he don't have the authority to lead anybody but
okay.
himself. Nobody up here
All
is
right.
your wife.
Okay. Wait a second. Wait a second. Number one, it's a scarcity mentality. We can
Wait,
disagree
can you
about
do me a
that, but it
favor?
is a
Can
scarcity.
you just do me a favor? Explain scarcity. Explain
No, no, wait a
how
second.
you're
Wait, no, no,
correlating.
no.
I just want you to explain it. You said it
Miss
out your
Joker.
mouth. I just want you to explain a scarcity mindset.
Miss Joker, a lot of your
Because I promise
argument.
you, when I upload these lives to YouTube, I just wanted to say this: the last live I up, they were like, "Hey, the ladies didn't let the man speak. They attacked him. They didn't let him speak." There were people that said that. So I said this live, when if a man gets on, I'm gonna try to let him speak, uh, even if it may be difficult. Go ahead, Khaki, so you can
Okay.
respond.
Okay, look, it's a scarcity mentality. Okay, scarcity meaning a mentality of lack. You're operating from a position of lack as a default. Okay, but Ms. Joker, you like to get off into these discussions about semantics, about how I use the word confrontation or not, without really addressing my actual arguments. And then as far as me leading random black women, I'm not leading random black women. Come on, that's not reasonable. But I do represent black men as a collective, just providing. It's no different than we look at our elders, right? Our elders, they don't lead us per se, but they just put out they put out guidance and advice, and we can choose to, accept some or not. I
Are
don't
you married,
claim to
Khaki?
lead anyone.
Are you married, Khaki?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
No,
how
I'm
old are
not
you,
married.
Khaki?
I'm 36.
Okay, you're 36 and you're unmarried. I would like to know exactly what you could possibly lead or advise black women on. Because the
Okay,
man
what?
is
Well,
almost approaching 40 and knocking at 40's door. Not having a wife or a partner at this age is suspicious on your behalf,
okay, all right. So
logically
if
speaking.
I was a woman and you was men talking to me that way, then we'd have all kinds of, oh, you're shaming and all this. But no, it's a
I know,
fair
but I
criticism.
believe that shaming is sometimes is needed.
Okay,
So I'm not
I
one of those
agree.
people. Sometimes people
Okay,
need to be shamed, women or
look,
men.
sure, and it's a fair critique, and it's a deserved critique. But before I get to that, I was still addressing some other things. Can I just briefly address what Ms. Joker said, and
Yes, sir.
then I'll answer that. Okay.
Okay.
So at the very end of what she was saying, Ms. Joker says, "Oh well, you can't tell people something about something." All right, look, this is a cultural deficiency in Black American culture. Okay, this
Oh,
this
sorry.
type
I
of
just wanted
mentality.
to interject and say one more time. One thing. Please stop saying Black American culture, because I that comes from the whole passport bros. That comes from the whole red pill thing, where people make it seem as if Black American people are doing something different than other places, which is not true. There are issues within the gender dynamics between men and women everywhere. In India, you have men raping women everywhere, gang raping them, leaving their bodies on the side of the road. The women are not safe on public transportation. A woman that was a doctor went to sleep, but on her shift at the hospital was gang raped and unalived. You have in the Middle East, if I'm not mistaken, it's Afghanistan. The women have to be completely covered. They cannot speak outside. They cannot sing. They cannot do anything. Their voices need to be lower inside. The women are greatly oppressed. They are abused. You have the women in Korea that are so disgusted with the state of men and how they feel about men that they said, hey, we don't want to have children. We don't even want to have intercourse with men. We don't want anything to do with men at all. We're going to start a movement to separate ourselves from men, period. These movements and these things and this go back and forth between women pushing back against men, treating them like second-class citizens and disrespecting them, goes across all racial lines, ethnicities, nationalities, all of that. White women are on this app every day, hooting, hollering, and screaming about white T men and how white T men are oppressing them and how they're ruining the world, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So please stop saying Black American culture
All
like
right.
there's something wrong with Black Americans that does not have the
Okay.
same issues everywhere else. Sometimes we have different complexities and nuances to it, but the problems still are the same. So stop demonizing Black American people. That's something I won't
All
tolerate.
right.
So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll stop saying it, but I disagree with you 100%.
You can't
But I'll
disagree
stop
with
saying it.
facts. You can't disagree with facts. These are facts that these things are going on everywhere. There are facts that the domestic violence rate is
I'm not
skyrocketing
disputing that part.
all over the globe. The behavior of the women where they are trying to fight back. They had certain places in the Middle East where the women were running off, escaping, trying to go on
It's triggered. I'm
airplanes,
not
trying to go
disagreeing with
places
that
to
part.
get away and disappear from the men that were there because they didn't want to be talked about. So just because black women, you may hear them aggressively say, hey, we don't want to be treated like this. We don't like the way these men are treating us. We don't like what's going on because we have the right to do that. It doesn't mean that because those other women may not say it or are more soft-spoken about it because they're afraid of being stoned or unalive, that doesn't mean those same problems don't exist. So what I'm saying is for you to say Black American culture as if we are doing something different or that our problems are not the problems that are mirrored in other communities is disrespectful, and it's not only racist but xenophobic as well.
Miss Triggered, I don't disagree with that part, but to say there's no issues that are unique to each culture, that's just not true.
No, I said that there are issues that are unique to each culture.
okay.
But what
Okay,
I'm
then.
saying is the issues that you're trying to say, they are present in all of them. All
But
the
I
fundamental
I
problems
never
are the
finished.
same. They just represent slightly
They're
differently,
not the
but they're
same.
all the same. They are the same. So you
All right. Well,
talking about
let
Black
me address.
American this and Black American that? Are
All right.
you
Let me
Black
address my
American? Are you Black American?
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you're Black American, then why don't you look at yourself?
Because
If
I'm
we have such a
self-critical. I'm
problem, then let's
self-critical.
talk about that. Like I
Okay.
don't
All right.
understand. We always want to talk about Black American people as if there's some. I just don't like that. It's just really
Okay.
disgusting.
I said I won't
Keep
say it. All
going.
right.
You keep
So I'll address me being 36 years old and unmarried. Okay. So it's no different than any black woman at my same age who's not married. Okay, they haven't found a suitable mate. Okay,
No,
so
it's
I don't see.
totally different. It's totally
Okay,
different.
all right. Well,
And I'll
let
tell
me
you why it's
elaborate.
totally different. Because
No,
according to Black men, especially men like you that use the Black American coded terminology and the whole leader thing and all of that stuff that you said, you're supposed to be the most desirable man. That's what you're supposed to be. You're
all right,
supposed to
all
be
right.
the most desirable Black king. So you are not supposed to have any problems finding a woman. You should be able to go to
Okay,
Colombia. You
okay,
should be able to go to China. You should be able to go over here. You should be able to find any non-Black woman that you want of your choosing that is willing to have you, willing to be with you, willing to cater to you, willing to
okay.
accept you and do whatever you want. And
All
the
right,
fact that you don't have that, it means that you're a failed man. It's just
okay.
that simple. And you
All
shouldn't
right,
be giving advice to anybody because you can't even get a woman that will even sit there and be with you and let her pump your guts to oblivion on Saturdays and Tuesdays.
all
So
right, all
that's a
right.
problem with you. Okay? And I'm telling
Okay,
you,
okay,
as a married woman, if you're 36 and you don't have anybody, it's something wrong with you.
okay.
There's
All right,
nothing wrong with women.
all right. So
She's the host. Stop trying to cut her off and just okay, trying to get her to shut up as if you agree with it, or not even agree,
No,
but
but she
that
never
you're
let me.
understanding. And I want you to think about the word self-critical. Again, this is where, as I said before, and you can come back and address me, but I think you need to go look up the definition of self-critical, because here we go. Do you disapprove of yourself? And if you disapprove and unduly disapprove of yourself, how would you ever be able to tell anybody anything about leadership or how to get a man or how to get a woman or any of that stuff if you unduly disapprove of yourself? Stop using
So,
words that you are not prepared to actually have the
so
proper context to. But go ahead.
all right. You enjoy vocab. Okay. So look,
Well, you
You
obviously
don't
don't.
enjoy it enough. You
You're
don't
Miss
enjoy it
anti.
Trigger.
enough.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
can I
Oh, now it's
can I
triggered.
respond? No, no. I said Miss Triggered. I said Miss Triggered.
Mispronounced a million different words. Like, what are we
Okay.
talking about?
All right. Can I? You never let me explain why I'm still single. Okay. So, all right. So
This ain't about why you're single.
it is. That's what she asked. Why I'm single. That's what
Sir,
she.
we
That was
know
her
I
why
didn't
you're
question.
ask you
single.
why. I just said that you were.
We
And I
know
just
why
tell
you're
you
single.
why. I
You
know
know
why. I
why.
don't need you
We
to
know
tell me. I
why. We
know
know
why
why
you're
you're
single.
single.
We all know. We all
Okay.
know.
All right. So all right. So you know why, but let me give the reason. Okay. So look. Yes. Okay.
We're not
Can
gonna
I
believe
respond?
it, but you can go ahead.
All right. So yes, I've dated a lot of women. Okay, and but some of the issue I run into, there's a lot of black women with kids. Okay, now does that mean they're not good women? No, most of them have been good women, but I'm not accepting a woman with children.
Okay,
Okay,
then why are
and
you dating them in the first place then? You talking
wait.
about you ran across women with kids and you dated them. Then what you dated them for in the first place if you already knew you didn't want nobody with kids?
Oh, I'm
That
just
sounds
saying
to
that's
me
what I
like
Yeah,
run.
the
my
only
thing
people
is
that
all
do
this
kids.
critical thinking, all this
Yeah,
high
that doesn't make
mighty
sense. That just
mindset
sounds
he
like
has, and to still be single, you still don't know how to discern and find a good woman.
Yeah, that sounds that I would like to know, if you don't like women with children, why are you dating women with
Okay,
children?
all right.
Which
So
it
so my
sounds
last
like you
wait.
just chose who you feel like you could get, and you can't get anyone
No, no,
that you
no, no,
that you
no.
really
My
want.
last hold up. My last relationship, the woman had no children. Okay? She had no children, good career.
Why start off your
Why y'all not
comment with
married?
that?
Then
The
why y'all
Okay.
not
women,
married?
Okay, I'm getting to that.
that's
I'm getting to
silly.
that.
Then to start
Oh,
off, to start your whole, if the last woman that you dated had no children, what is the point of trying to bring in that there are a lot of women with children if you dated somebody without children?
You're great.
That's the
because
BS right there.
because I'm talking about the pool of women that's available. Okay, it's a lot of women with children. Okay, and I understand if I'm 36, so by the time you reach mid to late 30s, a lot of people can have kids. That's reasonable. But I'm saying even in my late 20s, even still, there's still just lots of women with kids. So it's like a minefield. I don't mean it like that. I don't mean
To
it
the
like this.
woman
I don't
that
mean it
you
like
last dated, as opposed as
okay,
the reason why you're single now.
okay,
Leave the women with children out of it. It doesn't matter
ma'am.
about the pool, right? Because you clearly were able to find a
The,
woman that did not have
oh,
kids. So why
okay,
are you not with her now? Let's
all
talk
right,
about that then.
okay,
Since you
all
never
right.
Joker,
give
Joker.
us
That's
your
what he don't want to say is the women that he want don't want him. He's been
No, no,
rejected.
that's
The
not
women
true.
that he want don't want him. You would have been married by
So,
now.
so you're gonna speak for me. So you speak for me.
Go
So you
ahead
speak.
and
Okay.
explain it,
All
yeah.
right. All right. So we were together, mind you. I own my own home, homeowner. I'm an engineer. Okay. I'm just throwing out credentials. Okay. I'm educated, quote unquote, blah blah blah. Okay. Now she didn't have to pay no bills. She didn't have to
Start
pay
off
no bills.
education, you'd
Wait,
have a
wait, listen.
problem and say that
Hold
we're
on, you
strong,
guys.
independent.
Are you gonna let
You
me
don't need a
talk?
man.
Are you gonna let me talk? Okay. She didn't pay no bills. She had nothing to worry about. Okay. She was just, I don't know what her issue is, but she want to argue all the time. She'll make up things to argue about. Like everything's going good, she'll just make up. She'll find things to just start argument,
Mm, okay.
and just over time, it just became taxing. And at the same time, I'm not a rollover. I'm not the type of man to just roll over because we got disagreement. I'm gonna tell you about yourself. If I think there's something wrong with you, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. And she didn't like it, and she said I was disrespectful. Now, I did, maybe sometime I was kind of rude. I called her like a hypocrite and a narcissist, which I felt she was, and that was the last straw for her, me calling her that. But like, she would just want to argue all the time. But I felt like,
Okay, so it seems like we get it. That you're not able to have a respectful relationship with a woman and she left you.
Yeah,
I'm
because you have a scarcity mindset. That's
Yes, it's
why.
not surprising. Like I said, we knew that the problem was you. Like I said before, there are a plethora of good men for a good women for a man to choose from. There are far more good women for a
no,
man
it's
to
not.
choose from.
No, it's
Yes, it
not.
is.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is. Men commit the
Listen,
majority of all violent acts, all crimes, all everything. Y'all ruining society. There's definitely men are
how
more
many, how
predisposed to
many, how
violent
many
acts,
men are
more
in jail?
exposed. Excuse me, more
How many
black
men
men are
are in
more
jail?
predisposed to actual deviance. You said how many? What?
Any
How
black
many
men
men
that
are
So
in
can
jail?
hear you, sir.
so once again, let me say this is that you have a way bigger opportunity of finding a woman that will fit your qualifications
I mean, plenty of women.
if
They don't
indeed
meet
you're
my
a desirable
qualifications.
man. But if you're a man
They don't
that's
meet my
disrespectful,
qualifications.
if you're a man that's disrespectful, like you've already admitted to being, if you're a man that is already somehow mentally broken, as you've already shown everybody here on the panel, of course it's going to be difficult for you to find a woman and for you to retain one. And honestly, this lack of accountability and this weird thing that you wanted to come here and say things that you thought was gonna make the black woman here on the panel mad, that's another very strong reason why you're by yourself. And I want you to think about this like later today, like when you get in the mood and you go get your fleshlight or you go get your favorite sock that you will ejaculate into to have some type of orgasm because you can't have a woman that will allow you to do that. I want you to understand that the reason why you have to do these things is because you haven't worked on yourself enough as a man to attract a woman of the quality and the caliber that you desire. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that y'all really have to understand that because at the end of the day, the only person that loses is you. You're the one that's jerking it in the shower. You know what I'm saying? All alone. You're the one that if you ever get in the mood, you have to figure out where you're going to get your $40 from, or you have to figure out, hey, let me go and make sure that I have all of these different devices that can self-pleasure me. You know what I mean? You have to do that. You have to do that yourself. So I think that it would be better served for you to take some type of accountability as the type of man that you are to figure out how you can, be a better man, that you don't run women off. Especially since you say that these women with no children are so hard to find. So if they're so hard to find, you found one and you ran her off and she left you. Like, you should think about that. And then not only did she leave you, but you're so bitter that you decided to come here in a live of women and start talking about things that didn't even make any type of sense. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that it's just like I said, it's a lot of y'all that I think that y'all are totally unaware of the type of men that you are and how very off-putting you are. Like, you actually, and then you put it on black women. Like, you have absolutely repulsed every black woman. I can speak for them because I can guarantee you I'm right. On this panel, you have repulsed the black women that are on the panel. You have repulsed the black women in the chat. So that means that when you're coming across women in your real life, you're repulsing them as well, which is the reason why your girl left you. So you have to figure out how you can change as a man in order to not repulse the women that you are trying to get with, or forever you will be doomed to ordering intercourse toys. I have to use that word, X toys, off of Amazon to self-pleasure yourself. You know what I mean? And that's just so embarrassing. And I don't want that for you. But let me keep going to Betty Blue. You can go ahead, Betty Blue.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
So this Black Betty, and it's so funny. I had so many things to say, but I'm just
Oh,
gonna
okay,
say,
okay. Hey, how you doing, sis?
hey. So a scarcity mindset means that you have an idea that you lack resources. Lynn said that she's not gonna allow somebody to play in her face. That's not a lack of resource. What you meant was she's operating in bad faith. But why wouldn't she? You came on the panel, sir, as a black man, and in your words, said that black men have pooky behavior, lack discipline, can't keep a job. And these are the things that you said, right? Black, and you said that black people in total have a lack of, or have a cultural deficiency. I'm not saying this. You said this. I'm just repeating what you say. I'm putting a mirror to what you said. This is not coming from Betty. This is coming from Khaki. All right. So why wouldn't Lynn move in the way that she moves to protect herself from men when even you, a man, think that men, black men specifically, are horrible people? Like,
That's not what I said.
these men, I'm sorry, sir, I was still talking. These men don't realize what they say until somebody repeats it to them, especially a woman, and then they like, oh shit. I can see that Kaki's one of the people that thinks he's the smartest person in the room until he gets into a room that's not full of a whole bunch of pick me's that's going to agree with everything he say. We're going to challenge him, and obviously from his last ex, he don't really like somebody challenging him, and that's why they are no longer together. All right, which brings me to my next point, and I'm gonna land here. When I think of men, I think of there are two types of men when it comes to men. There are wolves, and then there are wolves in sheep's clothing. All right, at least the wolf you already know to stay away. But then you got people like Khaki who try to come in a friendly manner, and then they try to attack you later, i.e., wolf in sheep's clothing. This is why I say, ladies, especially when it comes to social media, stop trusting men, especially when they agree
You're
with
having a
everything that you
dialogue.
say. Yeah, when they start agreeing with everything that you say, I start looking at them sideways, and I keep them at an arm's length, because I just think that shit gonna hit the fan. In Kaki's situation, he did not agree with everything he said, but I started looking at him sideways when he, as a black man, started basically just downgrading and demeaning black men. And I'm just like, you're gonna have to cam up, sir, because why would you say
What did I say
things
about black
about
men?
black men as a black man, all the
What
horrible
did I
things
say?
that you said, and you tried to come at it like you at one point were trying to be like, oh, black men do this and they need to work better. But no, when this is why I
No,
say
what
in
did I
sheep's
say about black
clothing,
men?
because then he switched it around and then tried to blame black women for the black man's horrible behavior, and that is that
That's
wolf
not what
in sheep's clothing.
you're
So,
distorting the argument.
yeah, sir, you you get read down, and you gonna be mad about it, because what y'all don't like is when we take a mirror and put your ugly reflection to it. And I land.
Okay, all right, Betty. I'm gonna go super villain and loudmouth Lynn. I don't forget. I see the title. Lynn. I'm gonna go to Lynn, and then I think T was trying to say something, and then I'll go to supervillain. So Lynn, T, supervillain, and then I'm gonna let Kaki respond back to the things that have been said. That way, and we got to let him speak for. I'm gonna let him speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. That because we've talked so that he can get a chance to respond without anybody interjecting. Okay, so go ahead, Lynn, then supervillain, then T, and then we're gonna let Kaki speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. To be fair, go ahead, Lynn.
Okay, in response to what he said about me, aside from the scarcity mindset thing, but no, in regards to the scarcity mindset thing, I would like to say, as a Black woman without any kids, who is unmarried, around your age group, sir, you can't go around, because I see your problem. You can't go around diagnosing people. It sounds like you are a finger pointer. Like you're the type of person that goes around telling people you have a scarcity mindset. You're narcissistic. You're this. You're that. That's kind of very problematic. It doesn't sound like you're introspective, because you came on here, you diagnosed me with scarcity mindset, and you used it wrong in the first place. Like I said, I'm very pragmatic. I see life for how it is. You want women to not have boundaries, and you want them to let you do what you want them to do, right? Because you're an engineer and you have money. I got all of that from what you just told me right now, and I can tell what type of man you are. It's not attractive. So, as a woman without kids, I can tell you right now, you're not attractive. You don't seem like the type of man that will be husband material, because I wouldn't want my husband to go around diagnosing me with everything like he's my therapist. If I'm already in therapy, if I'm a woman who's working on myself, I don't need Mr. Khaki to come and be my leader and tell me about myself, especially when he's moving and operating in bad faith, because he's going to do what he has to do to get what he wants out of life. Therefore, you're not a credible source. I'm aware of that because I have the ability to be. Like I said, I'm taking the necessary steps as a woman to better myself without worrying about men and nothing and everything y'all doing. I'm just becoming a better human being. I think that's what you need to do, instead of diagnosing women and trying to figure out what's wrong with Black women. You need to follow the Michael Jackson approach. You need to look at the man in the mirror and start there first. And maybe you can better the Black community by bettering yourself.
Okay, all right, Lynn. So I'll go to T, then supervillain, and then, like I said, we'll let Kaki speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. Go ahead, T.
I'm gonna go after supervillain. I got caught up with something.
Okay, okay, go ahead, supervillain. You there, supervillain? Because I know supervillain is working too. So I'm gonna go ahead and then just. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Sorry, that mute button but it betrays me every time. Um, I just wanted to say this really quickly. I'm not even gonna act like I heard everything he said, because when they start talking, it sounds like Sims language to me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say this, ladies, keep your hand. It always dials back to vet better, keep your standards high. So I just propose that women, let's just start doing that. If the man that you're with cannot walk on water, if he cannot heal the blind, right? If he can't make a loaf of bread to feed a million, like, you just don't mess with him. At this point, that's how high the standards have to be for us to properly vet these men. If he doesn't make Jesus look like a Dignog or Pookie and Ray Ray, you just don't mess with him at this point. I also want to say, Kaki, you need to throw some coins to the panel and to the host. That was a very expensive therapy session that you just muled out of all of us, and that was not fair. We did not consent to be your therapy. You need to throw some coins, at least to the host. Y'all got a lot of patience. I don't do the back and forth with these dudes. Absolutely not. I'm a yield there, Trigger.
Okay, all right, supervillain. All right, so I'm gonna go up here to T, and then I'm gonna let Kaki speak, like I said, for 2 minutes uninterrupted, y'all. That way he can get out what he got to get out. We're gonna let him speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. All right, well, actually, I'm gonna go to T, then I'm gonna let Joker speak quickly. Joker, like you got like maybe like a minute, and then we'll let him speak. Okay, go ahead, T.
Yeah, I'm back. I just do find it, like I said, comical with all of this. Well, like, like I got the tools, I got the necessary tools. I'm smart, I'm this, but yet you do not have discernment to not even date a so-called narcissist like he claimed that woman was. No, I don't believe it whatsoever that he is this intelligent person that he claimed that he is. He just listened to a lot of YouTube, went to a lot of podcasts, and think that he can be those men. In his mind, he believes that he is one of those men that do have the authority to be over somebody, and usually the type of woman that they get, they be putting them in their place. Basically, he found out the hard way that he's not as perfect as he claimed he is, because he's looking at the so-called rhetoric that a lot of black men be saying. A lot of black women are single moms, or if they in their 30s, they undesirable. And here he is. He got all of these so-called achievements, but yet he's still single. So of course, instead of looking inward and say, well, okay, what's wrong with me? Why am I still single? I make money. I got my own place. I have no children. Why don't women are lining up to marry me? Why ain't all these women lining up, kissing my butt and begging me to marry them? They all running out on me. That's the problem, because you thinking too highly of yourself. You think that you're a catch, when all reality is more than just having all of those so-called items that you think that you have. You actually have to be a desirable person, a bearable person, a likable person. You got to be a likable man. And that's the problem, where a lot of men just cannot fathom the fact that that woman ran out on you and she didn't have none of those baggages or problems. She did not like you. And that's a hard pill for a lot of men to swallow. The premise of why these men like this run around in different panels, run their mouth, because they cannot fathom why it's impossible for no woman not to like me. But that is the reality. They do not like you. You are not likable. Women just don't like you. That's it. Some men in this world is just not meant to be in relationships, honey, and you are not it. No, you're just one of them. It is what it is. Unless you have a really, really low, the only type of woman that would bear to even be in a relationship with a man with that type of mindset, that every 5 minutes he'll nitpick at her character, is a woman that don't know her self-worth, a woman that don't value herself, basically a dummy. They don't realize that this is a red flag. A man is just us listening to you for 5 minutes. We knew that he was a red flag. I can imagine a woman that he's trying to approach and be in a relationship with. She gonna, any healthy minded. I'm gonna say this like this again. A healthy minded woman will not deal with a man like this, because he's projecting his rejection. He's been rejected. He doesn't know how to handle it. He doesn't want to do the work to try to be a better person, but yet he believes that he is on a pedestal, that he feels that he can look down and judge women, but yet he's the one, the gatekeeper of relationships, the gatekeeper of marriage, still single. You're
Okay.
just not likable. That's it.
All right, T. All right, I'm gonna go over here to Joker, and then I'm gonna go to Kaki and let him speak for, like I said, 2 minutes uninterrupted. Go ahead, Joker.
At the end of the day, I can't like stand gish galloping ass niggas, old pseudo intellectual ass niggas that will come up and think that they are the smartest in the room, or try to be anywhere thinking that they're the smartest in the room, and that they're actually coming to, have a conversation, or, debate, because everybody loves to say that they're debating without even knowing what the hell it is. I just think that it's pitiful that, to have to contend to sit and listen. I'm actually going to turn my phone down. I hope you put his ass on the goddamn what's his name, because I got to turn my damn phone down so I don't have to listen to his bullshit. But I really need y'all niggas to get out here and just do a little bit better, right? Stop trying to come in and always tell folks, well, this is, who I am and this is how it is. And if you do it this way, no, sometimes it is just better to just sit and be quiet or whatever versus opening your mouth, right? You could be an idiot, but you ain't got to let us know that you're an idiot, right? You ain't got to let us know that you don't know what the fuck you talking about and that you just trying to come in and throw out words and you heard it on the good old boy system over there with the red pills and now you want to come and try that same fucking rhetoric, and y'all niggas are not active fucking participants in the black community to even be talking about black culture, what you think it is, how you think it is, and the way that it affects everybody else, because you bitches ain't even participating in it. Go sit your asses down, twiddle your thumbs, play with your... I don't give a damn what you do, okay? Rub your dick with your feet. I don't fucking care, right? Act like a goddamn cricket at the end of the day. But y'all niggas is not active participants. So stop trying to come and pretend that you actually have something of worth to add, even to the fucking conversation, when you're not a fucking active participant. You the motherfuckers that we definitely will leave the fuck behind. You good niggas, right? We gonna leave y'all the fuck behind.
I want to watch
Fuck
some
it.
of the language, Joker. I want to the
I'm
library
sorry.
flag.
I was done, but
Okay.
I'm done. I'm
All
sorry.
right. That's all right. All right, let me go up here. Khaki, you can go ahead. Sir, I'm gonna let you speak uninterrupted, all right? So you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, well, a lot of disingenuous arguments were made, okay? A lot of what y'all said wasn't even addressing anything I said. You just making all these assumptions. Oh, well, you use fleshlights and you jack off and you need therapy and none of the women like you. I mean, like, none of this had anything to do with anything I said. Now, as far as my relationship, okay, I mean, we didn't drill down in my relationship. What would you know of the intricacies? She's the one who would argue. I would concede, I'll let her win, or she can disagree. And if I let her win, that's not good enough. Okay, lots of men deal with this. Okay, it's not good enough if you let her win. So this has nothing to do with, oh, I don't want to be challenged and all this type of that's not true. That's not true. Okay, and I would even argue that compared to other demographics of men, black men are actually way more like what's the word, egalitarian, okay, than other groups of people. So no, comparatively, black men are more accepting of a woman in power and things like that. So that's just not even true, okay? And you're making a lot of disingenuous arguments. So, and then Miss Lynn saying that I'm trying to diagnose her. I didn't diagnose her. I just simply said, starting off approaching relationships as if every man out there is out to do you wrong, and no, you're attracting bad energy, or you're not looking for the right things. You're so busy trying to avoid bad things, but you should, but you're not recognizing the green flags. You're not recognizing the good things. That's all I'm saying. That's not a diagnosis. I'm not trying to be a pseudo-intellectual, psychiatrist, but I can look at a behavior and say, hey, yeah, I think that's a scarcity mentality. That's my opinion. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree. No problem. But that's not me trying to lead you and tell you how to live your life. That's not it. But I can give a critique. If you say something and I see some kind of flaw in your logic, I'm going to say it. That's it. What's all this? I don't understand all this antagonism. Like, y'all made it sound like I came in here and said, F these black women, they don't kiss our ass. That's not, that ain't even what I said. I give a simple critique. And then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're red pill, this, that. And it's just not true. So I've just come to the conclusion, all y'all black women don't really care about a resolution. Not really, because I haven't even really been that antagonistic, and everything is just like, I mean, you swear like I'm Tommy, what's it, Sotomayor or whatever his name is. I mean, I come in, I'm trying to have a dialogue. What's the problem? I'm going to say some things you don't agree with.
And I'm actually, because everybody talks so much, I'm going to let you speak again. But I just wanted to, and it's been 2 minutes over that, but I'm going to let you speak again. I just wanted to let you know that I think that, and I'm going to talk to you, like the other ladies may not, we're all different women. We all have a different way of approaching things. And I don't tone police anybody here. But so this is just coming from me. And I'm going to take you at your word. Everybody else would say that I shouldn't, but I'm gonna take you at your word, all right? Because that's what people want me to do when I upload these lives to YouTube. I'm gonna say this, is that oftentimes you guys will say things and then you will be flabbergasted at the response that you get from black women. You'll be like, I'm shocked. Like, I wasn't even saying anything. I don't understand where I'm getting this pushback or I'm getting this anger. I feel like you as black women, you guys don't want any type of resolution to the issues that are going on between black men and black women. Or you'll say like, I don't know why you think that I'm somebody like Tommy Sotomayor or Sotomayor or whatever that guy's name is or whatever, things like that. You have to understand that when people are making when people see you, like when real life, when people see you, they make a snap decision on what they think you are. That's been proven. When I went to college, we talked about all these things, how people make snap decisions when they see what somebody looks like. They make an assumption on what they think that person is. It could be correct or it could be incorrect, but it's something that we as human beings do, because that is actually a protector. Because if you see somebody that looks crazy, you're like, oh no, let me get away from there. I feel like I might be in danger. So you have to understand that when you come and you use certain rhetoric, when you say, you start talking about single mothers and you start talking about Black American culture and this and that, all of those things are buzzwords that usually come from men that have very negative and unhealthy attitudes and disrespectful attitudes towards Black women. So my thing is, you can't come up here talking like a wolf, sounding like a wolf, behaving like a wolf, and be surprised when black women jump to the conclusion that you are indeed a wolf because of the things that you're saying. The first thing that came out of your mouth was, do you mind if I say, what was it he said, like controversial statements or whatever?
Well, I was letting you know,
Okay,
it
but that's
was
what
going
I'm
to be
saying.
a
Like
bit
if you said,
confrontational from the
sorry,
get
you
go.
said confrontational. So that already puts black women on edge, especially in these social media spaces, when the majority of the time black men enter the chat, it is to be disrespectful. It is to be degrading to black women, and to not acknowledge that very simple fact that the majority of the time that a black man comes around here in these social media spaces is to be degrading, is to be disrespectful, to me is crazy. So that's the reason why you got the reaction that you got. And also, I just wanted to touch on what you said when you said that black men are like egalitarian, and black men don't have a problem with black women being in control. They absolutely have a problem with black women being in control. The only problem is that black men as a collective are low performing. They are one of the least earning men. They have the poorest health outcomes, the poorest life expectancy, the worst health in the entire nation in the USA. Even though black men always talk about black women being fat and all these other things, black women's supposed fatness is not shortening their life the way that it is shortening black men and their poor life expectancies. So when people talk about like black women being the most evicted, which is true, black men are the most evicted male. Black men that like lowest literacy rates and a whole lot of other things that leads black men to not be able to perform and exist in society, to where they have to be under a black woman's control, like living with a black woman and mooching off of her, or living with their granny, or living with their grandma, or being in a position to where, since black men make around $40,000, I think it goes up to 50 when they make 50,000 when they're like 50 years old. Being one of the lowest earners, they have no choice but to stay with a woman, and so that they can have a place to live, where her to go 50-50, or her to go 70-30, or her to go 80-20. So where they're under her control to be somewhat. These are things that black men don't want to do, but they have no choice because they're low performing. And when they get with women of other races, or when they do have an ability to have some money, you see what they really want, which is a submissive doormat, a woman to control, a woman to tell what to do. That's all you hear is that, oh, if I'm a high value man, I'm going to have this woman and she's going to do everything that I say. She's not going to question me. She's going to submit to me. She's going to do this, that, and the third. That's what black men do when they have the opportunity to. So I wish that we would understand that the black men willing to share the load, or willing to let the black woman take the lead, is not because they really want to. It's because either they're too broke, too unmotivated to do what they got to do, or they're lazy and they rely on the labor of black women to do everything, so that they can take the credit, like with the social movements like the Black Panthers and et cetera, et cetera. But it has nothing to do with being altruistic or caring about women, because soon as a black man gets some type of power where he feels like he can call the shots, that's exactly what he's doing. We see black men every day talking about they don't like black women because black women don't want to be slaves, or they don't want to be doormats. So I think that you have to understand where the black women here are coming from. You can't come in and say, hey, how about this? We don't know you. We've never talked to you. You've never been alive before. You're the only man here. You're talking about, hey, I'm about to get confrontational, and then be surprised when the women that you're speaking with get confrontational back with you. You know, that's just not a logical thought process at all. It's just like if I went into a whole room with black men on how black men feel like they're being talked to by black women. And I say, hey, I'm about to get on y'all's, well, I don't like to cuss, but I'm about to get on y'all's ass. Then all of a sudden, of course, all of you guys are going to bristle and you're going to feel like, oh, wow, what is this lady going to say? Well, and you're already going to be on the offense because I've already started it off to be that way. So I think that you got to stop acting like you don't know why the women came and that black women are just these argumentative, evil, mean, nasty ogres that are going to attack you. There are plenty of black men that come in my lives and come on my platforms and they don't come with your energy and they are treated with respect. And this is something that I try to tell the people when I upload these to YouTube. When y'all hear the women getting on some black dude, I can guarantee you there's a reason for it. Either he's already known for being disrespectful or they felt the vibe and they felt the energy. And 99% of the time, I feel the same energy. Sometimes I may respond aggressively and get smart with the guys, and sometimes I won't. And then as far as the last thing I'm going to land it here, what you said about the fleshlight thing and all that, I think that it goes without saying. If you're a 36-year-old man, you're single, you had a girl, you couldn't keep her, more than likely, that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Or you're paying for it. You're paying for an escort or you're paying for vagina, respectfully. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, you're either self-pleasuring or you're paying for a vagina until you can find a woman that's willing to tolerate you and give it to you for the free ski. And that's just what it is. And I didn't say that as an indictment of you. I just said it to say that, hey, if you're tired of having that response of ejaculating into the shower drain or into a sock or wherever you have to, but if you want release from an actual human woman, you can't get it because of your nasty attitude, then you have to take some self-reflection and say, hey, I need to fix myself as a man. I need to learn how to talk to a woman. I need to know how to treat a woman. I need to know how to do these things. I need to stop playing the victim just like you did here. That's the only thing I was trying to do was give you advice, but I can't speak for anybody else. But let me just keep going. I'll let you respond again, but I'm going to go ahead and let Betty speak, and then you can respond after that, and I'll let you speak for another minute uninterrupted. Go ahead, Black Betty.
All right. So I actually came up here because you guys were talking about the idea of the good man being subjective or whether it's not subjective. I think that it is very much subjective. As supervillain often says, there's no such thing as a good man, just there are men that do good things. Me, on the other hand, I personally think that the good men are the bad men. As you see that there's a lot of men that think that they're good men, even though they've done horrible things in their lives. You could have had a man who was a candy dealer back in his day, but but he was out there on every Monday giving hot meals to the kids in the community. He was destroying the community and helping the community at the same time. To the people who felt like he was destroying the community, he was a bad man. But to those kids who he was giving hot meals to every day, he was a good man. The same thing. There's a man who probably cheated on his wife, but he is an excellent father. To his daughter, he is the best man. To his wife, he's a horrible man. It's the same man. And lastly, there's men that talk on this app. It's like almost the majority of men. I know very little men who don't think this way on this app. They say that they're a woman that you play with and they're a woman that you take seriously. So to the woman that you take seriously, you're a good man. But to the woman that you're playing with, that you're wasting her time, that you're using as a smum bucket, all right, the woman that you're increasing her body count, the body count that you hate so much, but you love increasing it, you're a bad man. Would you tell your sister to date that bad man? No. Would you advise your daughter to date that type of man? No. But most of y'all men say that y'all will play with a woman and you'll take her serious. You are that man. So yes, it is very much subjective.
Okay, all right, Black Betty. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go to Lynn, let her speak for 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to ADHD. Let her speak for 2 minutes. Then go to Onyx. Let her speak for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to go back up to Khaki for him to respond for 2 minutes. And then it's open panel for everybody, because that means everybody that was up here has had an opportunity to speak. So go ahead, Lynn.
Real quick, I wanted to respond to. Oh my God, my bad. I got a bulldog. She's loud in the background. I wanted to respond to what he said, if I may. I I never said anything about me believing that about everybody I run across. I said I take people for who they are and I don't let you play with me. I think you have a problem with listening, sweetheart. And like I said, sometimes you got, let me go in the other room. Sometimes you have to stop and take a look at yourself and the things that you're doing wrong and how you may be affecting people. Because that's what introspective is. I think that's the word that you were looking for earlier. You say you were self-critical. I don't think so. I think that you can be introspective. So, and that might help you out a little bit more. Stop trying to uh, put these labels on me, because as you can see, I'm well versed in vocabulary. I can do the same for you. We can play this game all day. But yeah, I think a lot of men on the internet, to take it off of you, need to be more introspective, and they need to wonder why women are asking them to be better, or why women keep quote unquote nagging them. You might be deficient. You might not be operating out of your best self. And that woman does not want to leave you. Instead, she wants to work with you to be a better person. But if you are dismissing her and just conceding to the argument and not actually bettering yourself, you might have a bit of a problem there. And again, you should go to therapy to figure out and take this from a therapist. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from that woman. But as a person who's gone to therapy, it's very dismissive to just concede to an argument and not better yourself as a person. That might be why you have problems.
All right. Okay, Lynn. So I'm going to go down here to ADHD and then just justified. And then we'll let Khaki speak for 2 minutes uninterrupted. Go ahead, ADHD. You got 2 minutes, sis.
You can go ahead, Jess, because I want to hear what he says.
Okay, go ahead, Jess. Let me send her a request to turn her mic on just in case she can't. You there, Jess? If not, I'll keep you up here, but I'll just skip and I'll go to Khaki. Okay, I'm gonna give you like 3 seconds. Jess, you there? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. So go ahead, Khaki. I'll give you another 2 minutes uninterrupted to respond to the ladies. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I don't think I have much else to say. I don't. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree. I mean, I agree to an extent what you said about, hey, if I come in saying I'm gonna be confrontational, I can expect confrontation back, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with a disagreement, but coming with this other stuff, talking about just assuming things about my life, to me, that's not a, you're not having an objective disagreement. You just want to be nasty and things like that, which is fine. That's fine, but you're not having an honest disagreement. And then as far as, Ms. Lynn saying, oh, well, I'm conceding and that's not actually working on the problem. That's true. But it depends on what we're disagreeing about. If it's something trivial, like she wants to argue that I disagree with her about something, something that has nothing to do with our relationship, then yes, I'm going to concede. That's not worth me investing my energy into. I got things in life I need to do. I'm not about to waste half my day arguing with you about some stupid stuff. And then lastly, like I said, I just, I'm not saying this to be rude, but I do think a lot of y'all don't really care about a resolution. I really don't. I just think you continually nurture your hurt, and you just use black men as a scapegoat, and that's just my opinion.
Okay, so what type of resolution do you think that could come between somebody like yourself and black women? Because you constantly mentioned black American culture or whatever as if we were some type of unusual people that are having discourse or disagreements within the male female gender. So exactly what type of resolution do you think that there would be? What would black women have to do to have a resolution, and what's the resolution for what? What's going on? Those are the two questions I have for you.
Well, there's no singular resolution to anything, right? But if we have a disagreement about something, or if I have a critique about a specific behavior, that's part of an overall resolution. There's lots of small things you address, and then it has a cumulative effect. Okay, so it's not just, oh, well, we all just need to do this. Not everybody's situation is the same. But like I said, one big thing, and this goes for men and the women, so this is not me just attacking the women, but and you've heard this before. This is not nothing new, but you've heard this before. I mean, we don't prioritize familial stability. Okay, we'll have a bunch of kids. I know you don't want to hear this, but we'll have a bunch of kids, and we'll talk about co-parent and all that. Like, okay, well, if you look at the stats, all the demographics, the highest earning demographic is Indians. Guess what? They prioritize marriage. Now, obviously, Black women don't have the same to pick from with men, right? So that's me critiquing the men, okay? But we can flip it the other way and say the same thing. Black men don't have all the same options some Indian men for women, and y'all may not want to hear that, but I've been critical of
It's
the men.
definitely not true. And I
No,
need you to understand.
we're just not going to we're not going to agree. We're just not going to agree
Let
on
me
that
just,
point. Because I'm a man.
no,
I'm a man. I know what's out there. You're not a man.
excuse me. What I try to do is I try to, when we're talking about things that can be objective, I try to stay in somewhere where we can have some type of actually hard fact based things behind it. First of all, the person that is in charge of marriage, actually popping the question with an exception of a few women that have no self esteem, are men. And Black men as a whole do not value marriage. They don't. They don't marry. They don't marry at all.
Black men are more married than Black women.
Excuse me, that's not true. The lifetime rate.
It is true.
Excuse me, can you please
Blackdemographics.com.
stop?
Look it
If
up.
you go,
Blackdemographics.com.
okay, let me tell you this. Okay, please. If you go to blackdemographics.com and you look at the lifetime rates of marriage, lifetime, Black women are married more lifetime. If you look at the ones where it says currently, like right now, it will say that more Black men are married. Yes, I'm talking about lifetime rates of marriage. Black women are married more. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Number two, Black men are married the least. They are the lowest married race of man, which means that Black men do not value marriage. That is one thing that Black women usually, like over 95% of the time, have zero control over. So when you talk about the thing about Black men and Black women having babies and all of this other stuff and not being married, that is strictly a critique that you would want to go to an all-male panel and talk to them and say, why are you guys putting these babies in these women and not marrying them? Why are you having intercourse with them without marrying them? Why are you doing these things? These things have no bearing on Black women.
Miss Trigger, the women choose the man. That's just the bottom line.
Once again, women may give a man an opportunity
How
to
does
talk
Cam
to them,
Newton
but
have
once
eight?
again,
How does Cam Newton have five baby mamas?
Once again, that is putting the actions of men onto women. Cam Newton, if he valued marriage, the first woman that he put a baby in, he would have married. This man has said on multiple platforms that he does not value marriage.
Okay, so how can he? So the next woman's willing. You have the next woman and the next woman and the next woman.
Stop interrupting me. Once again, if you ask that lady with low self-esteem that's with them right now that watch Jazzy, I could guarantee you with absolute certainty that if that man was to ask her to marry him, she would be with him tomorrow. She would go get married to him wherever he would be. Once again, so men are in control
Find
of
another
who they're
man
choosing to marry or who they're choosing to be with. If Cam Newton is supposedly a high quality man, a high value man that has all this money and he won't marry her, and then you have the low tier, bottom of the barrel, Dusty,
who says he's
that
high
don't
quality?
want to get married, or you have a man like you that supposedly is doing this, that, and the third, and you were laid up with a woman and you hadn't married her either, then that speaks to a problem with Black men and their lack of valuing of marriage. That has nothing to do with Black women. The time other races of men marry a lot more. So if Black women really wanted to have some type of resolution, what they would do is choose non-Black men who value marriage. And when you talk about Indian people
they
and
require
Indian
marriage
women,
before having
and
a
when you
child.
talk about Indian people and Indian women and the fact that there are better women to choose from and all of that, all of those things are rooted in being a own something that rhymes with a cartoon. Because for you to sit there as a black man and try to put another race above your own, I mean, that's just very indicative of the type of man that you are already. But I mean, you were already given those vibes with the way you speak anyway. But let me say this, is that when you want to compare other races of women in other communities, or the women's behavior, and you want to compare it to the behavior of black women, understand that the majority of these other women that you uplift have a support system when it comes to the men in their community. The men in their community are not buck
Women
broken. The
choose
men in
the
their
men.
community are not widely known as being baby mama makers, single mother makers. They're also not known, and we're talking about just for the US, slaughtering their women. Black women make up 10% of the female population here in the United States, yet make up 60% of the unalivings of women, and 95+% of the time it's a black man sending that woman upstairs. So all of these reasons, or just like how you wanted to come in a live group with black women and talk about being confrontational, you want to confront women, but you don't want to confront men because you're weak and buck broken. These are the reasons why black women have any of these type of characteristics that you say that you don't like, because we have no choice, because there is
I
no
didn't say I didn't
boundary.
like
There
anything.
is no
That's not what
one
I
there
said.
is no one to come save black women. There is no one to come to protect black women or stand up for them. The men in our community don't do it, and people in the world don't do it because of anti-blackness. So we are in a unique position to where we have nobody to come save or come do anything.
Nobody needs to
And
be
the men in our
saved.
community and the men in our community do not value marriage, do not value families, do not value a nuclear family unit that you oftentimes weaponize against black
Black
women.
men
You
are
don't
more married than
value
black
what
women.
you're talking about. You don't have any kids, you don't have a wife, and you're 36 knocking on the door of 40. So you're actually part of the problem that we're talking about.
It's
So I
plenty
think
of
a
women
lot of
in
times
your
what you guys
audience
need
that
to
are
do
unmarried.
is, I think a lot of times what y'all need to do is, just like Lynn said, pull Michael Jackson and look at the man in the mirror. Y'all be completely unaware and delusional about the type of men that you are, and the type of men that is filled with in the black community that black women have to choose from. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just completely insane. Like, for you to, and then my thing is that you said plenty of things when it comes to stats that you've been wrong about. You were just wrong about the black demographic stat that you just said.
I'm not wrong. Black men are more married.
You
You don't
No,
want to acknowledge
Kaki,
it.
you are
black
wrong.
women,
You're wrong. The stat is
black women are
52%.
married more. Thank you. At the end of the day, their lifetime marriage rates are higher than black men's. That's a fact. And when black men get
Black
with
women are
these
the most divorced
preferences,
demographic. It's not true.
why are black women the most divorced? I
Black
would
men
like
are
to
the
know.
most
Well, because
divorced
black
That's
women
demographic
wrong
in
too,
general.
Kaki. You're wrong
just a
again.
second. Black women marry black men the majority of the time. If you didn't know, when black men marry white tea women, they are the most
Black
divorced.
women's
That is
divorce
the
rate is
most.
high with white people, white
That
men
is
too.
the
What do you
most.
mean?
That is the most interracial pairing destined to fail. It fails even more than
Black
the relationships
black women's
with black
divorce rate
women.
with white
It
men is
fails
high.
even more than the marriages with black women statistically. When a black man marries a white tea woman, the relationship fails and they get a divorce way more often than black men do when they marry black women. So once again, if you're looking at these numbers and you're saying, black women are married to black men and they have a high divorce rate, but when white teen women get with black men, they have an extremely high divorce rate. When they marry other non-black women, they have a high divorce rate. Shout out to Jeannie Mai. Then what is the common denominator? And those are things that you can quantify. I don't want to come in here and talk about your feelings and how you feel about black women and how you want to propose a
You
resolution with
criticize the
no
men too. You don't
resolution.
acknowledge
It
that
just
part.
doesn't make any sense. I'm not even gonna talk to you no more because you were already being disrespectful and interrupting me.
Trigger, can I cash app to Skip because I'm about to drop, but I have something like
You
I
sure
think.
can. You sure can. Go ahead.
Okay, drop your cash app. I'm a cash app you, but I want to say that you brought up how Indian families, Asian families are the most successful in America. That's due to into education, babe. Black men, but more importantly, black people, foundationally black Americans, are highly anti-intellectual. So if we want to talk about why Asian families are doing good, let's talk about education and let's talk about how black men are so anti-intellectual and they don't value education as well. So if you want the Black community to do better, like I said, you need to look into, like Trigger was saying, you need to look into these stats first of all, and you need to look into what's really going on in our community.
And the,
Foundational Black Americans are very anti-intellectual.
and the
Okay,
other
we
thing
need to
about
get.
immigrants
Oh,
is, oh, he left. But the other thing about
oh, he
immigrants is that they
left.
are hand
Uh,
selected. They are
oh,
primed and picked. They are picking
Like you
immigrants who are already
ADHD.
educated and bringing them
What you
here,
talking,
and you're
baby?
using that stat. If you
but
go
that's
look at
all.
their
Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
finish.
Go ahead,
Um,
Lynn.
yeah, black men in particular are very anti-intellectual, and that's problematic. Y'all say education is not important, and y'all only hone in on relationships. Y'all think being in a relationship as Black women are, and the jobs that they're getting to support the Black community. Y'all need to look into that and stop worrying about getting some poom poom. That's all y'all worried about. And I called it when he first came up here. He's talking about single moms and how he's having like how all Black women have kids, when that's untrue, right? The women that he wants and thinks that he should have children. Because for you to bring up Jazzy and say she needs to leave him and find another man, that shows me that you, Mr. Engineer, who makes a certain amount of money, think that you should have access to that type of woman, and you're angry that someone like Cam Newton has access to her and you do not. So yeah, check the education and check yourself, because you don't deserve any woman. You don't have like the front of the line pass to any type of woman. But y'all have a great day. Thank you so much, Trigger, for letting me up. I'm about to send your cash app now.
Okay, no problem, Lynn. All right. I just want you guys to know that the guy that was up here, Khaki, everything that he was saying was not correct. And I'm a very much a numbers and statistic person. Like he had said in the comments that Black women and white men have the highest divorce rates, which is not true. I just put it up here on the screen for you guys to look at. The Black woman, white man combo is the most successful interracial marriage. And and I, like I said, I'm not here to tell Black women to date, to choose whoever they want to. Choose who you want. I think I've been very clear with that, according to the conversation I had earlier, if y'all was here. But this is the truth. And so I think that what I don't like is that there are a lot of men that use the fact that they are men to fool you into thinking that they are logical, to fool you into thinking that they are they have some information that you don't have, or they will come up and say something and then try to say, oh, you're talking about this on a, you're being emotional or whatever, and they expect you to take their words from it, just a word for it. And I think that that's exactly why that one dude was able to get off that whole idea that he said that Trump said that if you put your baby daddy on child support, you know that you're gonna have to give him all of your income tax, and how everybody was believing that. All of these Black men were doing panels where they believe that, because a lot of these men have no critical thinking skills at all. They just go with, trust me, bro. Yeah, this is true. Trust me. They don't go research or document anything. And I think that was the problem with him. Like I don't even believe that he was an engineer. I don't. You can, but I don't. And he was grossly uneducated. He didn't know the definitions of words that he should have totally known the definition of. And he wasn't in reality. He wasn't living in reality. I tried to give him things that could actually be quantified, and he tried to tell me that they weren't true. And everything that I said was true. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just saying, I put it up here on the screen so y'all can already see that all the stuff that he was saying was just grossly untrue. But I'm gonna go down here to Jess and see if she can, if she's there, she wants to speak because she's still there, and then I'll let you guys just go at it and speak. Oh, and thanks to
Yeah.
Lynn for cash apping me. Thanks, Lynn. Go ahead, Jess.
Okay. Yeah. I actually, I'm in agreement with a lot of everything. It was more so a lot of what people said, and even touched on with even the type of men that think that they're good men. And it's crazy how many times we hear going around these apps that every man think that they're the good man. They're the good man, and it's really sad when they don't. They're ready to project on other women and want to pinpoint big critiques, all this other stuff before they even look at themselves. What I will do is I will respect a man if he's actually coming in and addressing the men. If that's the case, because guess what? There are flaws and shortcomings in both sectors. So address the men before you come out of your face and address women, because obviously there's a lot of things that needs to in either sector that needs to be addressed, and for you to come out of your face and be straight ready to kind of address the woman, I see a problem with that. I see a problem with that.
I definitely agree with you, Jess. All right, I'm gonna go up here to T. Go ahead, T.
Oh yeah, like I said, this was all of this talking was he got triggered when he saw a pretty girl like Lynn basically saying how she used basically discernment to read out red flags in men. And he got triggered because he looked at that as a form of rejection. Like, why am I like I'm getting rejected? Like as if this was personal to him in his delusional mind. How the way he was talking as if he's in a relationship with Lynn. Lynn do not know you. Lynn do not want you. Lynn, I doubt Lynn even will ever find you attractive. And that is the problem that he had. He kept nitpicking at her because he cannot fathom the idea that I cannot get with a woman like that. So instead of trying to make myself better to be a better pick, he rather tear down the woman. And so she can be as simple minded as him, so he can have a better chance of getting with her versus getting with a woman that is healthy minded, and he's becoming healthy minded himself. And that's a part of all of this, everything that he's talking about. Black men are more married than black women, but yet he's single. He's not married. Oh, black men are better, but yet he doesn't fit any of that. All of those stacks that he brung up saying how black men basically doing this more than black women, he doesn't fit none of that. So the song wasn't even about him, but yet he wanted to make it about him because he is smack starved. He is smack starved. Majority of these men, I would say about 90% of them, run up on these panels with their sexual frustrations. And they do not want to compete, just like what Jess said. They don't want to compete with other men because they're scared of other men. The reason why he nitpicked it on his relationship, because he was comparing himself to a better man and comparing his relationship to that better man's relationship. And he ran back in his relationship and got on his girlfriend's nerves to the point she just left him high and dry. And that's the
And
problem
real
with these dudes. They keep comparing themselves to better men. And you just not that man. You just not that guy.
And then real quick,
What you said,
T, I
Jess?
don't
I
even
heard
know if
you.
you. I was saying that real quick. I don't even know if you recognize how he's came like he kind of messed up himself too in the process of trying to argue to make his argument, because he said that we as women were in a scarcity mindset, right? Because of how we looked at things. But aren't you in a scarcity mindset if you're saying blaming the reason why you're single on single motherhood?
Yeah, I
On
pointed that out in the
the
beginning. I said how you're projecting. You projecting. I said that to him in a like late early in the beginning. I said you're projecting your rejection on us. You cannot figure out how you can't get a woman. And that's not no one's problem on the panel. And I'm not even gonna help him no type of way. He's the type of man that needs to stay single. I will not point him out. I will not help him out and point him out to any woman because he's going to basically destroy her. He will hurt her. He will be the type of man that if a woman do give him a chance, she's gonna live to regret it. So no, I won't help him out. He need to be single. He can stay on the internet. He can use his sock as long as he need, or he can go pay for it and keep it pushing. But as far as relationship goes, he does not have the capability to talk about relationships because the simple fact is that he is single as we are talking right now, not even married. Saying black men have the pick of the litter, but yet you're single. You can't find a wife. He just want an excuse. He want an excuse. Listen, if you want an excuse to be a passport, bro, just do it. If you could find your passport underneath your mother's mattress, go and be a passport, bro. It is really just that simple.
Okay, all right, you guys. I'm gonna go here to Joker and then to Supervillain, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys. I've been going live for like 3 hours. Yeah, but go ahead, Joker.
I I think part of the issue for me is that the way that black men try to continue to correlate all of these things into one and try to go that way with that and try to make it seem as if this is the, again, making Black women a monolith, right? I find it funny, very, very funny, that when we talk about marriage rates, what they're skipping over is that and a lot of folks are skipping over. Let's address why Black women are not really truly getting married. A lot of Black women are finally waking up and coming to the realization that marriage is not beneficial for them. It's no longer a requirement to be able to be a productive citizen of the American economy or of America, period, right? Because up until 1970, you couldn't have a bank account. You couldn't do anything on your own as a woman, period, and especially a Black woman. So now that women are realizing that, hey, I don't have to get married, we continue to still hold marriage up as if it is something that everybody must do. Like, we run, you become an adult, you get married, you have kids, right? And that doesn't work for everybody. And we continue to ignore that actually happens. We want to continue to harp on that, oh, everybody wants to be married. People have to be married. If you're not married, what are you out here doing in life? Oh my God, you unmarried people, it's you're running away from responsibility. You're doing this, you're doing that. Which again, we're saying that we do not allow for people to just be autonomous human beings and do whatever the hell it is that we do, because societal norms say that you have to be X, Y, and Z. They hold it over Black women's heads. Oh, well, if you're 35, oh, you hit the wall at 29, so you better have all the kids that you can. And we continue to put all those tropes up against Black women and try to push Black women into a box. And anybody that doesn't fit into that box has got to be something wrong with her. Oh, she's undesirable then. She's bitter. Don't nobody want her, this, that, and the third. Then we also don't look into context of why women, period, are getting divorces. Your mothers are 50, 60, 70 years old, divorcing their daddies now, right? Divorcing your daddy if they were married, or divorcing these men who chose to stay up if, that wasn't your real dad. They're divorcing them because why? They're again are figuring out, I don't have to be here no more. I ain't got to do this no more. This was crazy for me. I got into it for situational purposes in the first place. When we talk about marriage anyway, hell, I keep telling folks, the way that a lot of y'all discuss and talk about marriage, why the hell would anybody want to get married? Literally disparage marriage on every, and this is coming from married people, disparage marriage at all freaking levels. When you complain about your husband not doing this or your wife not doing that and this, that, and the third, and now you think that somebody's supposed to find that attractive? When we tell people it's a business deal, that's all you're in it for. When you tell men that, hey, your only purpose to be married is so that you can go out here and work yourself like a slave just to make money, just so that you can provide for a family, but you don't have no happiness, you don't get anything out the deal. And then you tell women that your job is just to sit up here and birth kids and be and shut up and just do whatever the hell people say or whatever. And don't birth children and nurture children. That's it. How do you make that look attractive to somebody that she don't have no happiness either? And then you want to argue over the big piece of chicken, who gets fed first, who don't get fed first, who should walk in the room first, who shouldn't walk in the room first. Is it wrong to have, friends and all of this other BS? How do you all even think that is making marriage attractive at the basic core? And then think that people want to engage in it? You didn't give it any merit. You're not showing people that, hey, this is why we should be married, and continue to put that trope up that Black people need to be married to continue on with the Black community, as if marriage has saved us from anything. It didn't save us from anything. It didn't save us in slave days. It didn't save us during antebellum. It didn't save us through Jim Crow. It didn't save us through the civil rights. It has not saved us in any shape, fashion, and or form. It is literally just something that, two people, hey, I want to be with you for the rest of my life or whatever, and leave it at that. But we forget all of that. We negate all of that.
1 minute. One more minute.
I was actually landed right. everybody who wants to be religious, you out there saying something that was made up in Hollywood and holding yourself for ransom for something that was made up in Hollywood. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. I definitely think that you made some points, Joker. I'm married, so and I'm happily married. I'm not getting beat between a washer and dryer or mammying. So, I have a different outlook on marriage because I'm actually happy, but I do understand exactly what you mean. I think a lot of people don't make marriage sound appealing. They make it sound absolutely degrading and disgraceful. And I could totally see why people would be like, "Hey, you know what? Look at you. Your husband over there cheating on you. You over there, working, 80 hours a week and coming home and cooking and cleaning and doing all of these things. And exactly where is the appeal of me doing that when I could be just living my life on my own terms and being focused on myself?" So I totally understand that. I think that also a lot of times when you have men like Khaki that come in and try to hold marriage over, women's head. And then when you listen to them speak on how they think domination of the woman and her not really being happy at all and her needs not even being considered, it's like, exactly how would you, expect a woman to be, how would you expect that to be something, a goal that a woman would knowingly want to shoot for, knowing that her life is what she's doing is only going to benefit the man. So but I do get and totally understand that perspective of what you were saying. Like some of the things, I but that's just me because I'm married. So, but I do understand what you're saying, and I do think that points were made, definitely. Let me go down here to supervillain too. But like I said, I do understand what you're saying, and I don't think that you said anything that didn't make sense. Go ahead, supervillain.
Thank you, Trig. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. I know you're trying to get out of here. Just a couple points. First of all, with men like that, it obviously has a disdain against particularly black women. So I want, if there's any man in here, or if anybody can spread the word that if you are a black man and you do not like black women, that is okay. You can simply just not date black women. I say this all the time. I'm not going to tell you you hate your mom. I'm not going to say you hate yourself. I'm going to wish you well and a happy relationship. It is 2025. It is okay. Y'all got to stop trying to look for all these reasons and demonizing black women. You just don't like black women. It's okay. I don't like avocados. I'm not sitting around talking about avocados is the worst thing on earth when I could be over there eating a pear or a tomato and be happy, right? So I'm going to need y'all to stop doing that, number one. Number two, I'm going to do a real quick math, right? If Jody had 6 apples this. So just on population alone, right? There are, let's give it an example because we pulled up this chart the other day. 10 black women, right? To 7 black men. Now, in this equation, if every single black man got married to a black woman, let's not even talk about IR relationships. Guess what? Just because of things like, I don't know, prison incarceration, y'all knocking y'all own heads off every 3 to 4 unemployed business hours, there are simply just going to be more black women than black men. So, of course, there are more black men that's going to be married when you do the statistic like that. Because there's going to be more women, period. So that math, like when they do that statistic, it drives me insane because they never bring that part up. Like they just don't do it. Secondly, I am so tired about this single mom trope, child support thing. Triggered. I'm going to need somebody to sit down. I don't know if we can do a live. And let's just simply get a pen and paper and do the math, right? Now, if one day they're telling us only 29% of black men have kids, then they're telling us, I don't know, is the number 110% of black women have children and are single mothers, and also telling us we only choose Pookie and Ray Rays. Why is the biggest issue they have child support sometimes? Like, why is that always the number one contender? Why is y'all issue single mom if y'all don't have any kids? That's what y'all always bring up. But again, according to y'all math, only 29% of y'all actually have kids. And to be honest, they like to bring up to the promiscuity thing, and I'm gonna end with this. This wasn't brought up, but this is just something I got to get off my chest. It like irks my nerve. I don't mind men being upset about women being promiscuous and things like paternity fraud and things like that. But triggered, I'm gonna ask them to start with their mothers and their grandmothers. Because again, somebody was keeping their mama and their grandmother comfortable when their daddy was on the other side of town with his second family. A lot of y'all dudes are worried about things. Y'all should be getting paternity tests because a lot of y'all are the milkman and the mailman's baby. Y'all got some social security somewhere. Y'all can claim it and finally pay the child support off. Triggered, I'm a yield there. Thank you so much for having me. You're doing Mother Nature's work. Y'all tap the screen. Thanks.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I appreciate you. I just want to let all the ladies know that came up here today, because I think it was a few ladies that I had never spoke with before today. I think it was Lynn, but I'm not for sure. I might have spoken to Lynn before, but Joker, I don't think I spoke with her before. And then it was like a couple other black women that spoke, but they're already gone. I just want to say that I appreciate y'all. It was my first time meeting y'all, and I hope that I get a chance to talk to y'all and have a live with y'all again. But all of the black women that came up here, all of y'all were so intelligent and well spoken, and y'all were able to easily combat that weirdo that came up here. So yeah, I just want to let y'all know that I totally appreciate all of you. And I appreciate all of y'all different perspectives as well. Cause I know that when we have these lives, we may not agree on everything, but we may agree on basically the fundamentals. And that's fine with me. I want everybody to know that this is a space where all of y'all can speak how y'all feel and say what y'all think. Even if I may not agree with a little bit of it, that's fine. I want all of us to feel like we can openly speak on here. So I appreciate all of y'all. And yeah, like I said, that dude, I don't know what he was on. He was like a super weirdo. But once again, thanks T, thanks Super Villain, thanks Black Betty, thanks Jess. I appreciate like I said, Joker, Lynn, I think it was ADHD. Snap. It was a couple others, but it's my mind is going blank right now. But I really do appreciate all of y'all for coming up, and just so you know, if you are a black woman and you're listening to this, I just want you to know that you are awesome, you're amazing, you're valuable, you're special, you are the blueprint, and y'all just got to understand that I don't even take a lot of these, black men that come up here. I don't take anything that they say to heart, because it's like you want to come up here and confront black women, but you're not nowhere in no black male spaces doing the same. But then you say that we're the ones that are so bad is doing the same. But then you say that we're the ones that are so bad. If we were so bad, you wouldn't feel so comfortable to bring your big head in here and say something. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just want y'all to know, thank you so much, Brooklyn. I just want y'all to know I really do love black women. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And just going back to the topic number 6 that I talked about earlier, we may not always agree on the things that we say, and y'all may not always agree with me, but just know that I still love you as a black woman. I love you. I respect you. And it's black women against everybody all day, every day. Black women and black girls, for real. And yeah. So I'm sending y'all nothing but love, light, healing, and positive words. And I hope that y'all get everything that y'all are striving for out of your life. Even the things deep down inside you're too afraid to tell anybody. I hope that you get that. I know that you will get that too, because you're just that amazing. So with that, I will see y'all later. And I will be back.